All right, guys. Man, that's the first thing I said this morning. Hold on, let me drink some coffee. All right, we're up. Whew. All right, team, we are awake this morning. All right, so the Q is gapping up today. I'm looking at the SPY right now. All right, here's the SPY. SPY gapping up a little bit. It's at 450s, almost 455. All right, let me drink some coffee and then we'll talk about the stock market news. We do have some earnings coming out today. Goldman Sachs drops in like 45 minutes. We got ASML, we got Halliburton, we got US Bank, we got NASDAQ, Ally, M&T Bank, and Elevance Bank are probably out already. Citizens Financial Group is probably out. Let's look at Citizens real quick. They might have just dropped. It's CFG. No earnings be released. They're going to come out anywhere between the next 2 hours, really. All right, so we're green. Hey, Walgreens is looking really nice. All right, let's see what else we can find. We did have a green day yesterday. We ended up again. I'm telling you, man. Like people underestimate how difficult it is to trade on stream. Off stream, I could certainly trade. We did make about 500 yesterday. I don't know how much it was after commission, but we made money. Uh, all right, yeah. Yesterday we made about 452. Oh wait, sheesh, you are right. It is today is not Morgan Stanley, bro. You are correct. Today is Goldman Sachs, dude. You are correct. Yes. Yeah, so you're right. It's Goldman Sachs and Carvana earnings today, man. You are correct, man. Thank you so much, dude. I appreciate it. I was gonna, man, go all day without that. I got to change the keywords and everything. Hold on. The reason I got them confused is because Goldman is GS, Morgan Stanley is MS. So yeah, there we go. All right, we fixed it. Let me fix this here. I gotta delete Morgan Stanley. I mean, I could probably leave Morgan Stanley up, but I gotta delete some of these. MS earnings, MS stock, Morgan Stanley stock, Morgan Stanley stock. All right. All right. All right. Well, there we go. That's better. All right. So we added it up there, man. Yeah, it's my fault. Let me change the background here too. What do you want from me? Here, there we go. Get some music playing here too. My bad, guys. Yeah, Goldman doesn't drop theirs until later on this morning as well. There we go. That's better. So yeah, Goldman, they're not dropping theirs until past 7. And then we do have building permit data today. So we got like a lot of building permit data. And then later on today is Tesla. Like Tesla's, it's Tesla earnings day. So that alone is a pretty big thing. I'm ready for it, man. So we are. What's up, Han? Also, Netflix earnings. Netflix earnings today. United Airlines, Tesla earnings all dropping today. Today, United Airlines. All right. So, are you bullish or bearish on today's earnings releases? Bull or bear? Vote on the poll. Are you bull or bear on today's earnings releases? Netflix, Tesla, Goldman Sachs, Carvana all dropped their earnings today. Bull or bear? Vote on that poll. Let me know what you guys think. This will be a crowded house this evening. Yeah, well, we'll have a lot of people here. It's good. Yeah, well, yesterday we had Bank of America. Or no, wait. What do you want from me? All right. Yeah, so today we had European CPI that dropped this morning. It all came in either as expected or slightly higher than expected. We had core CPI coming at 0.4% versus 0.3% in Europe. On the month, on the year, it came in at 5.5% versus 5.4% on the year. Regular CPI yearly came in as expected at 5.5%. Monthly CPI came in at 0.3 versus 0.3%. So basically as expected for European CPI. We also have housing starts and building permit data today that drop. And then we also have 30-year mortgage rate data. They're expecting 7.07%. So they're expecting a much higher mortgage rate than last time. And that's a pretty big raise. You know, they're expecting mortgages to come in at 7.3%. That's very high. Yeah, we did have MCB Bank drop their earnings already this morning, and you can see who is that? We see Joshua dumbing it up in there. Let me put these up in the chat. Thank you, Joshua. And you can see M&T Bank right there. Again, we if you guys remember here, man. And again, I made this post yesterday, and it's really important that people understand this. Like, I'm not like, I think what happens is that like people pick one political side. You know, like I think people pick one political side, and I think what happens from that is that what happens is I think like people pick one political side, and then it's like then they only buy their political side's stocks. And again, I'm very neutral politically. I don't really care about politics like that. It's not really something that takes up a lot of space in my head regarding politics. Like I think both sides are incredibly biased, and you know, again, I'm not going to let my political affiliation, which I really don't even have one, influence my trades. And so a couple days ago, I bought Target because Target's just down a lot. You know, Target's down a lot. I bought it at 128. At 128 for Target. It had dropped a lot. And I had gone to Target over the week, and Target was busy. There's a lot of people at Target. And so I thought Target might have been a good buy. We bought it up. We rode it up. We are up nicely. We took profit in it a couple times already to where we're only holding like 10% of the original position. It's absolutely a green trade. And yeah, you love to see it. We got in literally right at the lows, basically. And that's nice. I still think it probably has some more upward room to go. We'll see if it does or not. But yeah, Target. Is that my dog crying? Poor buddy. I'm gonna have to go let him out. He must have to go to the bathroom. All right, guys. I gotta go let my dog out. I think he's going to the bathroom. Or he's got to go to the bathroom. I'll be back. I'm gonna go let him out so he doesn't wake my family up. I'll be right back, guys. While I'm gone, here, we're gonna do a poll. What price will Carvana close the day at? What price will Carvana close the day at? Vote on this poll right now. Bathroom, or we're gonna take Bruce out to the restroom here. But while we are gone, what price will Carvana, which is right here on the left, close the day at? Let me know what you guys think. Here's Carvana right here. Carvana gapping up some today. Did they drop their earnings already? Not yet. Oh, Carvana did come out. So yeah, Carvana is out. They came in third quarter revenue at 2.97 billion. 2.97 billion for Carvana here. They expected minus 113 and 2.57 billion in revenue. And so they ended up showing as expected for revenue. Carvana's second quarter sales 2.97 billion, beat the 2.59 billion estimates. So Carvana's dropping right now. We're gonna have to wait a second with my dog. My dog's gonna have to wait a second here. And I'm gonna put these numbers up in chat. There's Carvana right now. Carvana gapping up on this news right around 6:30. Carvana is up. Yeah, I use EMA. I use VWAP here. You can see I throw those on the chart. But Carvana flying up. What price is Carvana going to close at, team? Let me know what you guys think. What do you think it's going to close? But there's Carvana right there. Carvana dropping their numbers in chat. Here's Carvana right here. They didn't. I don't see an EPS reading though, which is kind of weird. But here's their numbers. We're gonna put this data up on chat, and here's Carvana price. Yeah, I'll be right back. Where will Carvana close, guys? Where will Carvana close? I'll be right back. I'm gonna go let my dog out real quick. All right, we are back. Carvana pulling back a little bit after the jump, and then just ripping back up here. Look at this. So Carvana all the way up to 42s right now. Such a big move here, man. But yeah, we let our dog Bruce out. He had to go, it looks like. Tesla. Whew, man, what a crazy day for Tesla. Tesla almost hit 300 in pre-market. It went to 298, or at least some orders got filled at 298. I'm not sure if it actually went up there, but Tesla with the crazy move here right now. Carvana right all the way up at 40s here, man. This has had one of the best rebounds of any stock this earnings season. And then we do have Goldman Sachs dropping today. Goldman Sachs not really the most volatile stock, but it's not bad either. It's up at 337s right now, 337s. Goldman Sachs is scheduled to drop at 7:15 market time, so we got like 35 minutes for that one. Halliburton drops theirs in about 5 minutes. U.S. Bank drops theirs in about 5 minutes. Ally drops theirs in about 45 minutes. Baker Hughes drops theirs in 20 minutes. M&T's already out. Elevance is already out. Citizens is already out. Carvana recently dropped, and you can see they're flying up on that. Commerce Bank dropped theirs already too. So far, we have Citizens Financial, which beat EPS. 104 versus 4% surprise growth in earnings. All right, so Carvana dropped their earnings and has been pushing up big. Still waiting on Tesla and Netflix this evening. Plus others this morning, which include, what else is this morning? We got, let me see, Goldman Sachs. Goldman Sachs, ASML, Halliburton, U.S. Bank, NDAQ, Ally, Baker Hughes. All right, the rest of banking has so far been positive, man. Look at Carvana rip here, man. Wow. Wow, man. Carvana ripping up. Would have hit 50 today, man. It's possible it does. All right, we're still popping up on Carvana. Goldman Sachs still waiting here, but man, what a rip, dude. Carvana's flying up. Yeah, we're trying to cover all of these, man, but should I buy Carvana puts? I don't know, man. Right now it seems risky to buy puts on Carvana, but I'm not sure, dude. Number one, you're gonna have to wait until the opening bell. Who knows where it's gonna be at the open? I'm not really sure, dude. Just be careful, bro. That's all I'll say. Just be careful, man. I really don't know where it's gonna be at the open. If it pushes up, continuing, we'll see. But it's up to over 50s right now. It's up to 52s, so it already broke. It already broke. A lot of these levels here, so it already broke them. Yeah, short squeeze on Carvana. Crazy run. Yeah, so still popping up. Still waiting. There's Goldman on the right. Waiting for their earnings. We got the SPY on the right now. See SPY at 450s. All right, weird. Man, Carvana still popping up at 53.30s, and again, so far coming up pretty soon here. There's a couple that are just dropping right now for earnings. Specifically, we got Halliburton and U.S. Bank, and I'm waiting to see what they show up as. Halliburton still waiting. They're supposed to drop right now. Let's put this up on screen and see what time Halliburton drops. But Halliburton just dropped their 68-cent EPS versus 113 estimates that I'm seeing. Or no, adjusted EPS 77 cents for Halliburton versus 75-cent estimates. Let me see if I can find sales revenue 5.8 billion versus 5.87 billion estimates. So I'm showing a little bit light for Halliburton. I'm showing a slight miss for Halliburton here. We can look at it to see if it's reacting negatively. But here's Halliburton right here, and it is gapping, moving down a little bit. Not the most volume. We also have U.S. Bank. I'll put these numbers up on screen, but it looks like it beat estimates on EPS, missed on sales. I'll put these numbers up on the chat so you guys can actually see Halliburton right there. Hey, try out Moomoo, Just Joe. I switched over to Moomoo, dude. If you open up an account, you get, and you deposit $100, you get 5 free stocks. You open up an account deposit over 1,000, you get 15. You open up an account deposit over 5K, you get 15 plus a share of Google or Tesla. They're open the entire session of pre-market, 0 commission, great resources, best news source in the game, and plus a lot of other good stuff. So check out Moomoo if you haven't yet, man. It really is dope. I've been using it for a while now. But yeah, up to 55s for Carvana. Rip it up. If you don't want to miss these type of moves, try out a platform that's open the entire pre-market. But yeah, so we do have U.S. Bank. Here's Halliburton's numbers. We just dropped them. There's Halliburton right there. We do have U.S. Bank that's dropping theirs right now too. USB is the symbol. It doesn't look like U.S. Bank is out with theirs yet. The other ones are basically out. Still waiting on Goldman Sachs, ASML, NASDAQ. So yeah, that's it so far. Halliburton really dropped theirs. Yeah, man. Carvana with some great numbers here. Second quarter sales better than expected. They expect positive adjusted EBITDA, which is earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization in the third quarter here. And that's great news for Carvana. Gross profit per unit was 6,520, an increase of 900 or an increase of 94% compared to the second quarter. We're putting Carvana's numbers up in chat here so you can read them. But yeah, Carvana doing great, flying up. All right, so yeah, Carvana with just a huge beat. Yeah, Carvana with a huge rip. Still rip it up. We're still watching Halliburton with nothing out yet. U.S. Bank is another one that hasn't really dropped their numbers yet. They are gapping up a little bit though. Tesla still at 293s roughly, right around 293s. Just a huge day yesterday for Tesla, man. Look at this day. Popped up big. Yeah, Carvana's definitely having a short squeeze, like without question. They're short squeezing. Oh wait, I gotta edit this tweet. There we go. All right. So I had to adjust the tweet a couple times, but it's okay. Give your boy a follow on Twitter if you haven't yet. We certainly appreciate the growth, any growth we can get on Twitter. Thank you so much. Give your boy a follow, like if you want to see, the recap of Carvana earnings on Twitter. Give your boy a follow and hit the heart button on this tweet right here. So we're gonna post this tweet. Hit the heart button if you can. Have a heart. Hit the heart button. Okay, do it now. Where's Sarah McLachlan at? Get her out here. In the arms of the angels. Hit the heart button on the tweet. Thank you. We're pulling back right now for Carvana. Is it time for a dip buy here? Let me know. Okay, gotcha, Pawn. My bad, dude. I haven't even pulled up Discord. Let me pull it up right now. Wait a minute. Where is my phone? What? Hold on 1 second, guys. I'll be right back. All right, we are back. I think I lost the music in my headphones, though, but I'm back. Hold on, let me get these headphones set back up. Yeah, let me know if you can hear the music right now. All right, we are in here. Yeah, so Carvana entered a deal with note holders to cut debt by $1.2 billion. All right, so y'all can hear the music, right? Y'all can still hear it. Carvana dipping down a little bit. Let's see if it actually holds. Predictions on Tesla earnings. Whew, I'm not sure. Hey, what's up, CT? No music? Okay, thank you. Appreciate it. Let me fix that. $28 calls on Carvana. I closed right before Market close. I thought I was lucky, man. You were unlucky, sir. Man, it's a bad one right there, man. Sorry to hear that, dude. I'm also gonna have to post the deal with Carvana note holders. What happened to Carvana? Well, Carvana's dipping down now. It's not going to go straight up forever. Great earnings. And I think buying this dip probably makes sense. But again, I'm not sure. I have no idea what it's going to do. Well, we bought like 25 shares here. All right, we're in there. We bought 25 shares of Carvana. All right, so we just bought a piece of Carvana. Yeah, Carvana had good earnings. As long as they don't like slap an offering. Tesla's still popping up to test highs up here. 293.50s. Will Tesla break 300 today? I think it's possible. Tesla's still flying up. Hey, all right, we're gonna take a little bit off of Carvana now. We just again, we just bought. Ooh, it's volatile. We got out a piece of it, locked in some profit. Got a little bitty 10 share position left, and it is flying up here. Wow. Lovely. What a lovely trade right here. Get a little bit more off. Lock that in. Over 54s right now. I'm going to sit on the rest. Let the rest work. Again, I thought that dip would probably work at least a little bit. I am using Moomoo. Again, Moomoo, great platform. Some of the best news sources in the game here. Like if you look at Moomoo, again, I can like build a watch list, right? So I can build a watch list, and then after I build a watch list, it'll like show me all the options for that watch list. Like I can pull up different scanners. I can go to explore right here, and I can kind of see what everything's doing. Like here's futures. I can go to dividend payouts. I can go to recent announcements and watch list. I can go to IPO, broker ranking, shareholder change, institutional holdings. I can build my own screener to find good stocks, and I can specify different things here. And again, it's a free platform. And if you open up an account and deposit at least $100, you get 5 free stocks over 1,000. You get 15 free stocks over 5K. You get those previous 15 plus a free share of Google or Tesla. I can see what's going on in different sectors. I can see a heat map from yesterday to see what really went on in the market. The best news sources in the game right now. And again, you can kind of see the news on Carvana and like what it detailed here. Aside from that, you can go to Paperfolio, see how much people are up on the month, on the week, on the day, and then follow those traders and see what they buy, where they buy it, when they buy it, see why they're profitable. really good idea here for Moomoo and super useful for trading. Like I can see this guy and say, hey, this guy's bought Coinbase, Tesla, and Apple, and I can see why he's made these big percentage gains, and I can follow different traders. I'll probably have to build a profile so you guys can follow me on there. But just to really, like if I go to options, they give you free unusual activity as well. So 0 commission, open the entire pre-market session, and they got all that good stuff. So while I'm talking, man, Carvana finally dipping down here. I'm going to go ahead and liquidate the rest. I'm already up like a ton. All right, we're out. And so we just made a nice little fast gain there. Finally correcting down, though, so time to exit that thing, man. Luckily, I had scaled out of a lot of it. I bought 25 shares. By the time this dip started to happen, I only had 5 shares. This is called Moomoo. Again, I should have it pinned to the top of the chat. Let me make sure. If I didn't pin it to the top of the chat, let me post this link. Again, get some free stocks at the very least. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's not pinned to the top of the chat yet. I'm going to pin it right now. Get some free stocks. Again, I got like Palantir and some other ones. I'll pin it to the top. All right, there goes the big dip, man. Carvana falling down very quickly, down to 45s. 45s. There's an offering coming. There's dilution coming. All right, so bouncing back up after dropping all the way down to 53s. Tesla at 294s. Tesla is surging up still in pre-market, man. What a crazy volatile day. All right, so we are up nice in everything. See, what's really cool is like there's even like on Moomoo there's like a profit calendar, so I can see like what I'm up. Which is really cool. I have been green on 1, 2 out of all the days I've traded on Moomoo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 days I've traded on Moomoo in July. I have been green on those trades. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 out of 12 days. 8 out of 12 days. I'll take it. What do you want from me? All right, so again, Carvana struggling to hold here. We do have some earnings that recently just dropped this morning at 7, specifically Baker Hughes. BKR dropping their earnings here. Gapping up to 35.50s here. We can see what Baker Hughes showed for their earnings. Baker Hughes posts second quarter EPS of 39 cents, beat the 33 cent estimate. Sales of 6.32 beat the 6.26 billion estimates. We'll put these numbers up on screen. If Moomoo is free, Moomoo is a stock platform. It's a U.S. regulated stock platform, bro. It is a platform that's regulated in the United States. It's like Webull or Robinhood or whatever. I think it's better than those, but it's similar. They make money in similar ways. Again, Carvana started to dump down here. Looking weak. Trading View is nice for charts, but actually trading on there is really complicated, to be honest, for me at least. It's very, like, it's just not as seamless. But it's subjective. Stop spamming Davey. I'm not gonna. I mean, I don't even know how to show you guys where I bought and sold here. I mean, I made money on Carvana. I'm out of it now. You know. Tesla 300. Yeah, I think Tesla's got a chance here. But yeah, here's Baker Hughes numbers right here. You can kind of see these numbers right here. We also had a couple other ones that dropped. Baker Hughes, NASDAQ, NDAQ. Let's see what NASDAQ's doing. Okay, so basically, Davey, you're upset. You're losing money on Carvana. Got it, bro. The internet's weird, bro. Anyways, let's look at NASDAQ here. NASDAQ dropped theirs. I think Ally drops theirs in about 10-15 minutes or so. NASDAQ is out. They posted 71 cent beat, 66 cent estimate. Sales of 925 beat the 914s. Yeah, Goldman Sachs soon as well. Goldman Sachs drops their numbers in. Goldman Sachs is scheduled to release theirs at 7:15, so we got like 8 minutes left. Yeah, the funny part about this is, like, I think Carvana looks great. I bought it and sold it already, you know, but, like, as for whether I'm like a long-term shareholder of Carvana, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. Honestly, I bought it earlier this year and I missed out on some of the gains. Either way, we're just a stock market news channel. I never claimed to be some long-term holder of Carvana. I think the move on Carvana is great. I'm for it. But, like, every time you get one of these moves, you get a bunch of bag holders that are just stuck a lot of the time in long-term losing positions. And they get really emotional about them a lot of the time. And, like, a lot of them are, like, purists. So it's like when you have stuff like this, you have people that were in it way back here at like 280s and 200s and 150s. And so they turn into kind of purists. So everybody else is wrong. If you don't hold the position the exact same amount of time that they do, you're wrong and they're right. Generally, what it just shows is emotion. It just shows emotion. You know what I mean? So basically, chill out. Don't be upset. Maybe it holds. I hope it holds, guys. I hope it holds. We'll see if it does or not. But it's pulling back pretty big in pre-market right now. I think if it starts to go on another run, it could really do some things, though. And again, let me know what you guys think. It's trying to pounce back up right now. Yeah, we're all here to make money. That's right. You guys could hear when I get into the trades, too. I mean, again, if you guys were actually listening, you could hear cha-ching or whatever the noise is Moo makes when I enter a position. You saw me enter it. You saw me ride it up. You saw me drop it. And then you heard the sound when I said, hey, I sold. So it's not like I'm just making it up, Obviously, I'm not just making it up. You can hear the sound when I cut the position. These Wall Street analysts underestimate stocks to create bull runs. Agree to a certain extent, probably. To a certain extent, probably. All right, guys. Goldman Sachs dropping their numbers pretty soon. Here's Goldman right here. Goldman gapping up to 339. Still not out with theirs yet. They're expecting 325 EPS on 11.6 billion in revenue. Thank you, Jack. You know how it goes, though. On the internet, you always got somebody disagreeing or somebody upset with what you're doing. Either way, it doesn't matter. Yeah, but payment for order flow, I mean, listen, they're going to make money regardless of it. I mean, it's a subjective thing. We could argue that it's bad and, I could argue that it's good. And my argument for that it's good is because it's better for short-term traders. I'll put it that. For bag holders or people that are stuck in positions, long-term, sure, I'm sure they don't like it. And that's okay. Again, I don't really have a stance on it. I guess I do have a stance on it, but I guess my point is that a lot of these traders haven't been around prior to PFOF. They don't remember how high commissions used to be. Like just to buy or sell on a day trade, it used to be $14 for a round trip. And I remember that. And I would much rather these companies take a little bit on the back end as opposed to charging me up front $14 or $15 a round trip. If that happened, then it would be very, very expensive to day trade. But it all does depend on the sizing you're using. In each individual trade. If you're taking larger, like really big positions, of course, maybe on the long run, PFOF is going to cause you to, get charged a little bit more. But on short term, for like active day traders, PFOF is actually better for them. It makes it easier to trade. It makes it less expensive, and it makes the barrier of entry and the percentages that you're getting better, in my opinion. But again, I know that's a hot take that not a lot of people are going to agree with, and that's okay. We don't all have to agree. Anyways, Goldman Sachs poised to drop their numbers in about 3 minutes. This is when they're scheduled to drop in about 3 minutes. Ally. I've had Ally Bank a couple times before. They're dropping theirs at 7:25 market time, so we still got like 12 minutes left for them. I'm kind of neutral. I know they're okay. I've had like an account with them, but Carvana moved up earnings by 2 weeks, reduced debt as well. Yeah, I mean, and they had a pretty good report here. We still got to just wait until the rest of the big stocks that dropped today, Goldman Sachs included. Again, Goldman Sachs should be out in about 2 minutes from now, 2 minutes for GS. And again, I'm waiting for them to drop. We did have US Bank that missed. We had Citizens that missed. But aside from that, most of the other bank stocks did well. The last couple remaining are Ally and Goldman Sachs. Again, Ally dropping theirs at 7.25. We also have Northern Trust. Carvana was that? Yeah, Carvana's up big. I mean, if you look at it prior to this earnings run, it's up a huge amount. It's up from like 36 to 50 or to 44. We're at 46 for Carvana. Again, let's see if it holds. We're under the volume weighted average price. There goes Goldman Sachs. So I'm looking this up to see if they actually drop their numbers here. I don't show anything yet, so we're still kind of waiting for Goldman to drop their numbers. Baker Hughes is out. Waiting for Goldman now. Northern Trust did drop theirs as well. I'll put Northern Trust up, although it's not the biggest stock that I typically trade. Like, I usually don't trade it. Davey, number one, man. If you really want to see my buys and sells on, if you admit that you're wrong once I show it to you, Davey, I'll show you my buys and sells for Carvana, bro. I'm not lying about it. Again, you can hear the sound when I take the trade, bro. Hold on. Let me just since you're being so vocal about it, number one, you don't watch the channel a lot. I've never seen you before. You're just saying that to try to get credibility, so that I'll keep going back and forth with you, which is fine. You know, again, we can cap if you want, you know, but number one, it shouldn't be that big of a deal whether I bought Carvana or not. Number two, I obviously bought Carvana. Hold on, let me pull it up. It's very easy to prove too. Let me see if I can find, where's my position list? Give me a second. I just got to figure out where it'll show me my positions that I've taken today. My orders specifically, probably in trade. Let me find it. Hold on. What do you want from me? All right, here it is right here. Hold on. Let me let it load. There it is, positions. Boom. All right, hold on. I just got to figure out how to detach this. Okay, I could probably pop this out and then delete everything else. Yeah, I can. Okay, good. All right, guys, bear with me. I'm waiting for Goldman Sachs to drop their numbers here. I'm going to show you this position list in just a second. I'm just trying to make sure Goldman didn't drop their numbers here. All right, we are in here. Let me delete that. Let me delete that. Let me delete that. Let me delete this. And let me make this big and then get rid of all this other extra buying power stuff that shows you how much money I have. We don't need to show any of that stuff. Again, I told you I bought 25 shares. Remember, I'm not lying about it, dude. All right. All right, so here's the Carvana trade I got into. Again, bought 25 shares, as you can see on the right. As I told you I did, sold 15 at 53, sold 5 at 54, sold the last 5, as I said, a loss on, but still profited overall on the trade. It's exactly what I told you guys I did. Now, I will take your apology anytime, sir. Anytime. I will. My ears are open, kind sir. Let's see if we get it or not. Hey, where you at, Dave, bro? Where you at, bro? What happened? I'm lying. I'm capping, dude. I'm just some faker capper in the stock market, dude. Where's it at? Where you at, bro? No, I mean, listen, I got to troll the troll. If I can make content out of it, I'm okay with it. You know? So, like, if I can make content out of Dave being a hater, I'm going to make it. Silence, man. It's some crickets out here, bro. Where's he at? What happened? I was lying about it, dude. Where'd it go? You know, I was just making stuff up. Again, guys, you can literally hear the sound. When I take a position on Moo, it goes cha-ching. You know? Like, why would I lie? No offense. Why would I lie about taking 25 shares of a stock? Who cares? It's 25 shares. Oh, there you are. Okay. Listen, I'm going to change my name to Cap City today, just for you, Dave. Mr. Long-term viewer that I've never seen before. Cheers to you, bro. This sip is for you. Mr. Long-term viewer I've never seen before. Man, tastes good. Let's see if Goldman Sachs are out with their numbers yet. I don't think they are. So Goldman's a little bit late. They were supposed to drop theirs at 7:15 and it's now 7:20 market time. Yeah, I said it in front of you. I was playing the bounce. I thought it would bounce. It did bounce. I got out at freaking 54 from freaking 52. Made $2 a share in about 30 seconds. And then sold, you know. Like, why would I lie? No, I'm just... Yeah, definitely top 3 cap streamers in the world right now. But yeah, Baker Hughes is out. Goldman Sachs isn't out with theirs as well. Again, we'll see. But they're late. Is that good or bad for Goldman Sachs? Again, they're expecting 325 EPS on 11.6 bill. Yeah, it's all good. Goldman Sachs. Hey, we'll see. Yeah, no, he's all good, dude. I'm just kind of trolling him back. It's okay. But again, like I said, why would I lie about 25 shares? You know, I mean, it's Carvana. 25 shares kind of, it started to go pretty quickly for me. But like, yeah, Goldman was supposed to drop theirs at 7:15. They're just not out with theirs yet. So I'm just kind of waiting here. Coin is trying. We can watch Goldman Sachs. Usually we'll get some volatility when it starts. Hey, what's up, Tobias? Hey, good morning. Where do you go to see the warning numbers? What do you mean warning numbers? Yeah, what do you mean by that? Yeah, but either way, Dave, I appreciate the apology. I really do. Most of the time, the way it goes is like, most of the time it's like, yeah, you know, let me find an example. Most of the time it's like, yeah, CEI is going to be breaking highs in 30 days. I'm going to come back and tell you I told you so. And I'm like, no, CEI is not going to be breaking highs, bro. And then CEI drops 80% in 30 days. And then it's just kind of crickets. I never hear from them again. And so I appreciate the fact that you apologized. I really do. Most of the time, it's just kind of crickets after that. And that's okay. But let's see if it can get back up there for Carvana. Again, if it gets back over VWAP, I might buy it again. But for now, I just don't trust it. How do you catch the earnings numbers so fast? I got a bunch of different sources. So I just have a bunch of different, like I've got 4 monitors that y'all can't see. And so I just have a bunch of different sources on each monitor. And then that way I can just kind of pull it up quick and find it. Definitely top 3 lyingest liars in the world for sure. What do you think about the SPY run yesterday? I'm still holding 450 calls. I think the SPY run was good for my other swing trades. But we'll see if it holds. You know, again, this is a big week, and then next week's an even bigger week. So this week we've got Tesla earnings this afternoon that I'm going to be streaming the entire thing up. So I'm going to stream the entire Tesla earnings today, and then we're going to have so we got Tesla earnings today, and then we have Netflix earnings also today, United Airlines earnings also today, and then tomorrow, I don't know what we have tomorrow. Tomorrow we have jobless claims and some other stuff. And then next week we've got a bunch of earnings like Apple, I'm pretty sure, Snapchat, Microsoft, a bunch of earnings next week, plus the FOMC rate hike decision on Wednesday. I think it's Wednesday. So next week's a big week. Yeah, Wednesday. So in exactly a week from now, we have the Fed rate hike decision. Let me know what you guys think, how much you guys think they're going to raise rates. I'm not sure. But we do have that coming up too. So Goldman Sachs was supposed to drop theirs at 7:15. They're just not out with theirs yet. Here in New England, we call it Carvana. Let me go get the car keys. Go to the car. Frank 8, you know, like that. Carvana. Is that it? Did I do it? I'm bad with accents. I'm really not that good. Like, I'm from like an hour away from New Orleans. And so sometimes, like, if you ever heard a New Orleans accent, it can kind of sound similar to like a Jersey or New York accent. Not the same, a little bit different, but all right, so Goldman is falling down a little bit. Let's see if their earnings are out. Yeah, so Goldman out. Second quarter EPS 308. They expected 325. So big miss for Goldman earnings. If you look at Goldman here, they expected 325. They ended up showing 308 for earnings. 308 versus 325 estimates. Revenue came in at 10.9 billion versus 11.6 million. So Goldman came in light. Goldman came in light. They came in a miss for EPS, a miss for sales. So Goldman missed EPS, missed sales. Again, I'll put the numbers up on screen, but the rest of the market's mostly reacting to it. Here's EPS for Goldman Sachs, and then sales are going to be right here too. So let me put those up. 10.9 billion in rev, so miss. Let me copy this. All right, there's Goldman right there. I'll put this up on Twitter too so you guys can catch it. All right, so yeah, it misses the 325 estimates. And core revenue of 10.9 misses the 11.6 billion estimates. All right, guys. Goldman pulling back a little bit from its highs up there in pre-market. Give me a follow on Twitter if you haven't already, guys. We're covering all this stuff. All right, so Goldman started to pop back up a little bit. I'm going to read the rest of this stuff. So again, all right. It says sales beat, but I'm not showing a sales beat. I'm showing a sales miss. But I'll put these numbers up on screen so you can see it. But I'm showing a sales miss. Here's Goldman Sachs, but this one says beat. Again, I am showing a miss on my end, but maybe I'm wrong. But again, we're gonna go through the whole list of like reactions here. So Goldman here, they showed. We're gonna go through the whole list. Second quarter book value per share is $309.33. Second quarter equities revenue is $2.97 billion. Second quarter asset and wealth management revenue is $3.05 billion. Second quarter net is $1.22 billion. Second quarter revenue is $10.9 billion. Second quarter platform solutions revenue is $659 million. Second quarter global banking and markets revenue is $7.19 billion. Second quarter return on average shareholders' equity is 4%. Second quarter compensation on benefits and expenses is $3.62 billion. Second quarter operating expenses was $8.54 billion. And again, they're starting to bounce back up and test the highs as well here. So maybe it wasn't as disappointing as I originally thought. They're starting to move back up. Sales and revenue are basically interchangeable. Like saying revenue or sales, I say sales. I also say revenue. It just depends, but it's interchangeable. Goldman earnings are right here, bro. Right here, man. Yeah, I don't know. I was showing they were expecting 11.6 billion, but that's all right. And again, give me a follow on Twitter if you haven't already. We cover all the big news and earnings, to be honest. Carvana's still struggling here. Not struggling. Let me rephrase that. Carvana's still consolidating after a big rip and then a dip. Starting to move back up to test the volume weighted average price. We'll see if it actually holds now, though. It's probably the biggest story in the market today. You see what just happened on the NASDAQ? No. What is it? Well, I don't see anything too crazy here. I mean, it dropped. NASDAQ's been falling down basically for 30 minutes or so. All right, Carvana's starting to bounce back over the VWAP here. Here's Goldman still. We're still looking at Goldman. I need a new keyboard, man. I got a new keyboard. I should just pull it out because this one, for whatever reason, is double posting. Goldman's bouncing back up. NASDAQ is still dipping down a little bit. We're still watching Carvana here. All right, so that's the last biggest earnings report today with Goldman coming out. US 30. What is that? The Dow? What is? Isn't the Dow? Isn't that the Dow? What is YM? What is the Dow symbol? Is it YM? I think it's. I thought the NASDAQ was the US 30 or US 100. Okay, yeah, the NASDAQ, the NQ is the NASDAQ, bro. Oh, wait, it's the US 30? Okay, sorry. Okay, so yeah, you're talking about the Dow. My bad. So here's the Dow right here. What do you mean happened to it? I don't see much going on right now. It looks pretty much the same as the NASDAQ. Sorry, I get the abbreviations mixed up because to put it in perspective, the NASDAQ is the US 100. The US 30 is the Dow. So it's YM is the symbol in futures. Carvana down. Yeah, there's Goldman. It's trying, but it is gapping down a little bit. Here's Carvana. Carvana back over the VWAP here. We'll see if it holds. What's up, team? Look out for guidance on earnings. Yeah, we're watching guidance. That's going to be... All right, so Goldman raised their quarterly dividend too. I'm seeing if I can see. Anytime you want to look for guidance or future projections, you look for C's. I don't see guidance here. We got some more data here for Goldman right here at the bottom. You see Goldman Sachs second quarter investment banking fees are down 20%. Equities revenue is little change, and FICC revenue is down 26%. Yeah, it's probably a random order. So King said it might be the platform. Sometimes, like, for instance, at 8 a.m., I call it the 8 a.m. scrum. A lot of, like, overnight orders get filled. And so you'll see these huge candle wicks that go up and down. Just ignore them. It doesn't actually mean the price is that high. It's usually just from, like, random orders getting filled overnight. And it happens on, like, most of the platforms I use. It happens on TOS. It happens on Moomoo. So, yeah, it's just rogue orders getting filled from overnight holds. But yeah, Carvana's starting to move back up. It's back over the VWAP here. Watch $50. So watch 50. So watch 50, which is right here. Oops. That is $50 right there. So watch 50 on Carvana. Let's see if 50 holds. Yeah, I mean, you can do it on TOS. I know you can correct it on Moomoo as well. So if you side click on them, you can basically remove the candle. All right, look at the Dow. Dow falling pretty quick. Carvana still ripping up. Just broke over 50 bucks. Over $50 for Carvana here. Man, look at the Dow fall. Dow falling down quick. Although this might be delayed, actually. Here, let me look on another platform. This actually might be delayed on my platform. So this drop might have happened when old boy said it did. Let me see. I know I can type in Dow Jones here. But no, I need to look at the futures. So I need to do /YM. Okay, yeah, so I think I'm actually a little bit, yeah, so I think this is a little bit delayed for futures. If it'll allow me to put the Dow Jones. Oh, I can put .DJI. Okay, that works. On TOS, it's money sign DJI. Yeah, so here's the full price action of the Dow. Although maybe this is delayed too. Here, it's all right. Here's AMC. Say 430s. Yeah. AT&T. Yeah, AT&T's up some. Again, maybe it does stuff. I really don't know what it's going to do moving forward. Yeah, like you can see on TOS, like here's the Dow. So if this is the candle that you're talking about, like that already happened. That already happened like 10 minutes ago or so. All right, so Carvana over $50 over the VWAP here. Let's see if it actually holds. I don't know if they're going to be out of business, Chris. I think a lot of their business will be, though, if that makes sense. So like I think they're still going to have a company. I think AT&T is still going to be around. I think AT&T is still going to be around. I think Verizon's definitely still going to be around. But I think that they're going to lose money. They're going to lose profits. They're not going to make as much in 5 years, for sure. So I think that'll make them dwindle down. I don't know if they're going to be out of business or not. I think they'll probably have some form of business still operating then, but I think they're going to lose a lot of business. I think their margins are going to decrease heavily over the next 5 years unless they find another area to pick it up in, which is possible. My point is, I don't like them for long-term holds. I don't like AT&T. I don't like Verizon. I don't like Comcast for long-term holds because, again, I think the time of locking people into long-term bad contracts is gonna go away. Now the other avenue where I could be wrong, specifically for AT&T and Verizon, is that a lot of the justification for people locking themselves into these terrible contracts is that they get a new phone. They quote unquote upgrade to a new phone, which is just financing a new phone. You get a terrible deal usually when you finance these phones. And so I think certain people are always going to want new phones, but not have the money for them. And I think with that, you're still going to always get some business in that regard. But again, I think more options are just opening up for other avenues of not having to do that, Yeah. Dude, it's just slightly from the future. Slightly, just a little bit, I'm from like 5 minutes from now. All right, so Goldman, again, disappointing earnings. They're dipping down some. Yeah, for sure. They're too big to fail, but they're certainly not too big to like lose business. I don't think they're gonna fail. Again, I think they're gonna be around. I think they're frankly too large of companies to actually just kind of go under. But I think there's going to be a lot more competition for them in 5 years, and I think that they are going to not make as much money than they have been over the last 30, locking people into long-term contracts on both phone and internet services. And so because of that, I don't like them. Like, again, I think one of the big misunderstandings that people have here is like whenever I look at anything, whenever I look at any stock, the lens in which I'm looking at under is long-term hold. Like, is this a viable long-term hold, right? Like when I look at AT&T or Verizon, I'm in my head, I'm saying, is this a viable long-term hold relative to something like the S&P 500 or the NASDAQ or whatever? Is this a good long-term hold? And when I look at AT&T and Verizon under that lens, I can't convince myself it is. It's for the same reason like Lululemon, for instance, right? Like I had some haters on me when I said I didn't like Lululemon either. Again, Lululemon makes tons of money. They're a money-making machine. Again, I got a wife and daughter that freaking love Lululemon. Like they will go spend $500 at Lululemon. And so I understand the relevance of Lululemon, but do I want to hold Lululemon over the next 20 years? No. Because it's a fashion company and fashion styles change. And again, so because of that, I just don't like it. But again, I'm not saying it's not going to make money. It obviously makes bank. It obviously makes a lot of money. DirecTV is AT&T though, Chris. So that's my point. Is like DirecTV is AT&T. AT&T is DirecTV. And so, again, I think they're going to struggle. I think a lot of their money that they've made from DirecTV over the last 5-10 years, I can't remember when they acquired it. I think that's going to dwindle up. Dry up is what I meant to say. But yeah. But it's all good. Again, maybe I'm wrong. Again, I very easily could be wrong. If AT&T comes out, number one, I think in order for me to be wrong, I think AT&T has to change their business model to some degree. I think if they switch it up and like get some good acquisitions and start another segment of their business that is good, then of course they could be fine. Verizon too, and again, I have Verizon. Like I have Verizon service, so it's like I'm not just hating on them blindly. How high could Tesla go with good earnings? Oh, Tesla could go really high with good earnings. Again, I'm not sure what they're going to do, though. Tesla's up a lot. It's up to almost 300 right now. And so, very, very strong. Yeah, I couldn't remember how long it was. I couldn't remember how long ago it was. I remember they acquired him. I just couldn't remember. Everything feels like it was last year, but I know it's probably, been way more than that. I think it's stable because they just buy out upcoming companies, and who is even going to stop using telecoms? Well, a lot of us are going to stop using specific telecom companies like AT&T and Verizon to go with. Again, I think this is probably what's going to happen. I think AT&T is going to acquire small companies like somebody else mentioned here. I think they're certainly going to, but I think what they're going to pivot to is a more contractless business move. I think the only people that are going to fall for financing and locking themselves into a long-term phone carrier contract are the older population, as well as people who don't have the means to pay for the phones themselves, and that they want the new and best phone. And I think that's a small margin of people. I think that's a small percentage of people that want the newest and best but don't have the money for it. Right? That is the target to lock them into long-term, unfavorable, bad contracts. But I think everybody else that uses them are just going to go pay-as-you-go, contractless. And I think they're going to do the same thing for streaming. I think instead of using AT&T cable or internet, they're going to go to another no-contract-based fiber optic provider. They're going to go to a no contract-based streaming TV services like YouTube TV, like Hulu TV, like Sling TV, like Fubo TV, and I think that is going to cause them to continue to drop unless they have another acquisition or something. But maybe, again, I could be wrong. Very easily could be wrong. I don't know. Yeah, Carvana starting to try to test the VWAP area. It's right around that level now. Tesla dipping down to about 294.60s. And again, we'll see if it holds. And then we got building permit data, guys. Building permits coming out today, too. When's housing starts come out? So we got building permit data and then housing starts come out in 45 minutes. All right, so building permit and housing start data, 8:30. We got 45 minutes. I'll put the timer up so you guys can see it. Yeah, we got 45 minutes. Let's see, we got 0, 0. Timer up down here. I think next week will be down the week. 24th rebalancing, 25th Fed meeting and rate hike decisions. Yeah, it's going to be a busy week next week for sure. This week we got some stuff. Like we got Tesla earnings and a bunch of other stuff too. Next week is going to be a little bit busier than this week for sure. And again, if you haven't already, give me a follow on Twitter. I certainly appreciate it. We cover all the big stock market news. We post the earnings. We cover market recaps daily. We've been doing this new thing where every day we give you a market recap, or we give you guys a recap of what's going on, what the biggest news stories are on that specific day and all that stuff. And so give me a follow on Twitter. There's the link. Florida Trader, where do you see that Carvana announced an offering, bro? Where's the offering announcement? Where do you see that? I don't see an offering announcement. Chat, is there an offering announcement for Carvana? I don't see one. If there is, let me know. I think trading is an addiction. Is that bad? If you're gambling, yes. All right, Carvana's starting to pop back up. Tesla's still trying up here. We still got about 42 minutes. Hey, later, TK. Yeah, I don't see the offering announcements anywhere. I can look at Twitter. But if I promise you, if an offering was announced, they would be dropping very big. Not. Yeah, I don't see any Carvana offering news. I don't know, actually. So, actually, I'm seeing a couple different people reporting on this offering. So he might be right. I see the SEC Carvana. Yeah, but this is okay. Yeah, so this is right. It's an ATM offering, which is at the market. Here's the SEC.gov document for Carvana, Class A common stock. You can see it's dated July 19th, which is today. This is dilution. Offering price of this is $1 billion. This is $1 billion offering. 35,000 or 35 million shares, Class A. Aggregate offering price of up to 1 billion. So yeah, it's an ATM offering. Huh. Surprised they're not dropping more from that, to be honest. That's to put it into perspective, an offering is dilution. So an offering is dilution. I'll put this up on chat so you can see it, but $35 million shares, up to $1 billion offering. Yeah, I mean, we all gamble sometimes. My point is like you're addicted to the, if you're addicted to the rush, then you're gambling. And a lot of people are justifying gambling and trading. Like most of the time, the people that come here and say you can make 30% a day and 40% every day. And listen, you can make 30% on one particular day if you risk a lot. You can make more than that on one particular day if you risk a lot. But doing so day in and day out is gambling. Like you're never going to be able to hold that way. Again, I'll put it this way. I could buy up a bunch of shares of a stock. I could buy Carvana right now. And then if it drops down to 40, add more shares. And then if it drops down to 35, add more shares. And then if it drops down to 20, add more shares, right? In doing so, I'm going to be green a large majority of the time doing that with Carvana. Like my accuracy rate would be high. My percentage return would be very high as well. Like my average gain per day would be high. The problem is that is ultimately something where it's like the martingale roulette strategy. Eventually, it's not going to bounce for you. Eventually it's going to keep dropping. And when it does, you're going to destroy your entire account. You're going to lose everything you made prior to that plus more. It's the same thing as the martingale roulette strategy. And so in that regard, it's just not worth it. Like, I can make money 80% of the time, 90% of the time doing what I just talked about. Does it mean I'm a good trader? No. Anybody could just double down, triple down, quadruple down until it bounces. Eventually, they're going to get into the one stock that doesn't bounce, and they're going to lose their entire account. And that is why it doesn't work. And that is gambling without question. And you'll win most of the time doing it. And to a lot of people, they think they're gurus all of a sudden. Like, they turn into gurus and they think they're just like the greatest traders ever. They don't understand that the big crazy drop that destroys their account is coming if they keep trading like that. It doesn't have anything to do with skill. Anybody can keep adding size to their positions. Very few people can have risk management and stop themselves from doing that. Tesla's still moving up at 294.60s. It's called the martingale roulette strategy. It doesn't work. It's a strategy that doesn't work. It basically means you double your bet size every bet, right? So you bet $10, you lose, you bet $20. If you lose, then you bet $40. You lose, then you bet $80. You lose that, you bet $160. And so you'll have to lose like a bunch of times in a row in order to actually lose. And in trading, it has to do with just doubling down your size, right? You buy 10 shares, it keeps dropping. You buy 20 shares, it keeps dropping. You buy 40 shares, it keeps dropping. You buy 80 shares, 160 shares, it keeps dropping. Eventually, it'll probably bounce and you'll make money on the trade. But the problem is, like, if you keep doing that, eventually it's not going to bounce and you're going to destroy your entire account. So a lot of people have a very misleading take on trading because they think they're more profitable than they actually are. And they're simply just doing a variation of the martingale, until their account's gone. Well, you can DCA loose it into an index fund. And again, that's to a certain degree, that's kind of what I do with blue chips, right? Like, I'll kind of do that with blue chips, but it's different. It's not the same. Number one, I have a limit on where I will add. I'm not just going to blindly keep adding into any position. I have a risk level where if it breaks under a specific risk level, I cut it. And I'm only buying blue chip healthy companies that are going to go up long term. So like the companies that I buy for my swing trades, and I'm green on the year swing trading. I'm green in Moomoo. I'm green on TOS. The stocks that I buy are only blue chip companies that are obviously going to be healthy long term. Now, they might do anything short term, and in that regard, I might have to sit on them for a year plus. But the point remains that these are companies that are almost certainly going to go up long term. And so I can buy and just wait and add to it if it keeps dropping. But again, it's up to a certain level. It's not just blindly just doubling my size like the martingale. It's a little bit different. I do that. Yeah, man. I'm up 600 on a Netflix call. I have no idea what you should do, brother. Good luck, man. I hope you make money. Netflix earnings are this evening. So, I mean, it depends on if you want to gamble that or not. If you're up, if I'm up big in anything, I'm taking profit. But, with Netflix, they dropped their earnings after the bell today. So it's something that, big risk, big reward, man. You could hold it. And if it goes in your favor, you can make a lot. You could hold it. And if it goes against you, you could lose. And so what you want to do there is purely your decision, man. I have no idea what you should do. Not an investment professional, not liable if y'all lose. I have no idea what I'm talking about. I might be wildly wrong about everything and anything I say. Don't copy me. Definitely top 3 most wrong traders in the world for sure. Definitely top 3. When does Shopify drop their earnings? And so Carvana is still dipping down. Tesla's still pushing up, testing highs up here. We still got 30 minutes or so until we get the we still got 30 minutes or so until plus you won't be nervous buying more stock. Yeah, for sure, but it has to be blue chips. The mistake most people make, and again, I feel like broken record sometimes because I talk about this so much, but I think people understand like what I'm talking about is real stuff. Like I'm talking about the truth. Like I'm talking about how like a a more effective way to make money swing trading and investing than just purely buying up hyped up companies. Like what I'm talking about actually works for me. At least I can't guarantee it's going to work for you. But the good thing about blue chips is, like, I could buy Disney, or I could buy Amazon, or I could buy Apple, or I could buy Google, or I could buy Walmart, or whatever I want to buy. And I can understand that those stocks are probably going to go up long term. And sure, some of them are not, and I can diversify into many of them. So, like, even if one doesn't work out, I'm still wildly profitable afterwards, regardless. And it just worked. Again, a lot of people get talked into buying like mid caps and penny stocks, and they get all hyped up. The marketing that is out there for penny stocks can be really persuasive and convincing. The issue is that most penny stocks are going to fail. The issue with mid caps is that like 50% or so of them are going to fail. And if you get in the wrong one that's overhyped, you can lose 50, 60, 70% in a year or more than that if you buy the wrong one. And so the strategy I'm talking about adding to positions and DCAing into blue chips is only on blue chips. You don't really want to do it with mid caps or penny stocks because, again, the likelihood is most penny stocks will fail. Most mid caps are incredibly risky, and some of them are going to succeed, but it needs to be a high risk, high reward trade that you don't certainly just keep adding to, because some mid caps are going to fail. So if you just keep adding to a mid cap position, you're going to do it to the wrong one a large percentage of the time and just destroy your account as well. The name of trading is just about account preservation, and so you got to figure out the safest ways to maneuver without risking your account. Yeah, hey, that's a crazy big gain, Matt. Nice work, bro. What do you mean swing trading MAs? What is MA? I think DCAing is safe if it's blue chips, only blue chips. Again, it needs to be companies like the way I analyze it is like I only look for companies that are well known. Like, I'm only going to buy a company that I know. I'm never going to put that type of money or double down in my size with any trade that I don't know the company. Like an obscure company that I don't know, I'm never going to do that. Again, there's just too much risk. But like penny stock marketing, again, can be really tricky. They're going to act like it's the next biggest, hottest stock in the world, and most of the time it's not. Oh, moving average. But swing trading moving averages is not even, though both strategies are based on signal smoothing theory. Yeah. It depends on what you're trading, though, with moving averages, Dev. So, like, it depends on what you're doing. If you're doing it on blue chips, you're still probably okay. If you're doing it on freaking Peloton, probably not the right move, All right, so Carvana's still consolidating sideways here. Here's 8 a.m. We might have a big up wick or down wick in price action from today, from right now. So again, the 8 a.m. scrum's about to hit in like 10 seconds. Hey, what's up, Max? How you doing, bro? Thoughts on space? All right, so there's the big wicks from the 8 a.m. scrum that we usually get every morning. Yeah, man, space, bro. Max, you know how I am, dude. I don't like SPCE at all. I think that the space industry is incredibly expensive. The margins aren't great, and it's a lot of these have a low probability of success. And I've been saying this since space was at $20, $18. And I just never trusted it, and for good reason. It just kept dropping. MBOT beginning trials on their fully robotic surgeries. Oh, you got a 728. You got a July 28th $600 call on Netflix, not up 600. Oh, I mean, you could probably sell it for a profit now. I think $600 is going to be hard, bro. I mean, you're basically betting that Netflix is going to do great in earnings. And maybe it does. It's possible it does. But whether you want to take the risk of losing all the money you spent on that option is a different story. What I would probably do is see if we get bullish sentiment leading up to it. But again, I don't know what you should do there, bro. There's good risks. Yeah, there's an offering. There's a $1 billion offering. We posted about it on Twitter as well. It dropped today. All right, guys. So again, you see the 8 a.m. scrum. Carvana popped up on this, but we'll see if it actually holds. This might just be the candle wicks from orders getting filled. I don't know enough about Soundhound, Brendan. Well, the SQ is the short Q, and so it's probably just saying that the Q is strong. Bro, did Texas really get the #1 worst state to live in, dude? Bro, who are making these polls, dude? They're all southern states, bro. I could get down with like Louisiana. Okay, Louisiana not really the best state to live in, but Texas, dude, Texas is nice, dude. I've been to all these other states, bro. I've been to Michigan lately. Texas is nice. Like, it's nice here, man. The real estate market is good. House, like, you get a really nice house for cheap. The job market is great. Like, the economy here thrives for the most part. The fact that that's #1 on the worst states to live, for what is the justification? And making that the number, like, you know, again, in Cali, you try to buy a house, you get a little shack for $1 million. You know, you spend $1 million in Cali, you're gonna get like a 2-bedroom home, you know, with like 1,000 square feet or whatever it is. I don't know, man. It's a little out there. It is hot here. I'll say that. It is freaking hot. Matt, I had a particular interest in that company. Just wants to make sure inside they are partnering with some major players like Hyundai and Snapchat. Which one, Brendan? What company? Soundhound? Yeah, I just don't know enough about him, man. Sorry. It could be too hot, but I just like, I think I would imagine like the worst state right now is like Illinois. Like Chicago's rough, like a rough area. So I'd imagine like Illinois is one of the rough ones. I would imagine like the other rough ones, probably like Michigan. No offense, because of like Detroit is like, you know, followed by probably Louisiana. It's probably up there. Mississippi's probably up there as well. But again, it's such a subjective thing. All right, so Tesla's starting to move up. We're at about 294.80s, 294.80s. Yeah, but nobody's going to be able to retire in Cali trade. You know, Trade says California is better than Florida for retirement, but the problem is you're not going to be able to retire in Cali without spending like $5K a month on rent. You know, you try to buy a house again, you're going to get a little shack for $1 million. You know, doesn't sound like the best retirement place to me, but you know, again, it's just such a subjective thing. Yeah, Houston's definitely not good. I definitely agree with you there. I want to get out of Houston. I lived in downtown Houston for 5 or 6 years. It's not good. Yeah, I'm from Louisiana too. I'm from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, which is about an hour away, maybe a little bit less, 45 minutes away from New Orleans. I know. Listen, all my family and friends still live in Louisiana, but I wouldn't move there if you paid me. All right, Netflix still at 480s. What's bad about Houston? Crime. Traffic. Prices. You know. Do you think Dallas is better than Houston? Yes. Yeah, it's hot. But again, it is such a subjective thing where it's like it's just opinion based. Like certain people are going to find certain things better or worse, and it's all good. It doesn't mean either one of them is not right or wrong. It's just opinion based. Anyways, Carvana is still like holding over the volume weighted average price. So Carvana is trying to hold. If we look at like a daily chart for Carvana, let me get the VWAP out the way. It's just had a really bad few years, but a really good 6 months or so. Like here's Carvana. Carvana was at $3.60 back in January of this year. It is currently up there to almost where are we at now? It is currently up there to almost 50. Maybe it might be over 50. Last time we were in Houston, we had a problem. Yeah. Yeah, life really is much better. Like I used to live in downtown Houston. I lived off of West Gray by Westheimer in Houston. And again, the problem with it is that there's so much traffic, bro. Like once we had kids, traffic freaking like it just became really stressful just to leave our house. Like just to leave our house and go to the store, it became stressful. Like too much traffic, like super consolidated like homes and buildings. It was just stressful. The nice part is that you could basically walk anywhere and get whatever you wanted. You know, like in terms of like good food, like stuff to do, like no matter what, you could do whatever you wanted, and you could just kind of walk there. Driving became a huge hassle though. But like once we had kids, we just kind of moved out to the suburbs, which was the right move. Let our kids see some grass, you know, run around in the grass, which you don't really have much in the city. And so we moved to suburbs, and you know, we're definitely not going back to the city. Anyways, Tesla still consolidating here. Carvana's still trying. Watch that $50 level. You can kind of see $50 right here. All right, so there's the $50 level here. And again, we'll see if we actually hold. But this line right here is $50. It's a psychological level. We also have Morgan Stanley starting to pop up. We're watching Tesla on the right. Yeah, an Acadian off of Acadian King. Austin's nice. Yeah, I do like Austin. Hey, what's up, Shepard? I got some friends in San Francisco and family. San Fran's really nice, man. It's really nice. Like some parts are bad, but that's any big city. Um, San Francisco has a really cool culture of like the city. Like it's really cool. It's not as I mean, there's pros and cons. Any big city, you're gonna have issues. You know, whether it's Houston or Cali or whatever. You know, you're gonna have problems in big cities, and that's just normal. Schwab still popping? Is it really, man? Yeah, Schwab had a huge day yesterday where Schwab just flew up, man. Schwab almost up to 68s. Look at Schwab here. Schwab up to 67s right now, man. That's a big gain for this one, too. This one had a crazy good day yesterday, too, from earnings. So, like, look at the gain. So, Schwab yesterday morning was at like 58 bucks. It's almost to 68 right now. So, it's up about $10 a share, which is a pretty big percentage, to be honest, man. That's a pretty big percentage. It's a little bit less than 20%, but it's still a pretty big percentage. Tampa. Honestly, Michigan's really nice, man. Different parts are nice and different parts aren't. But like I like the Midwest, man. The Midwest is quiet. You know, like I grew up in Baton Rouge and I lived in Houston and like I like the Midwest. It's quiet. Call options are Schwab or cheap. Am I the only European here? No, there's other ones for sure. Well, the rent prices everywhere are going up. Not just in BR, but everywhere, really. Yeah, it's only going to get worse. That's why I moved to Atlanta. Yeah. Atlanta's nice. Again, it's a big city too, though. Never really been around Baltimore much. Again, Schwab about to break highs again here. All right, so Carvana popped up over 50 and now it's dipping back down some here. But look at Schwab. Schwab still moving up to test highs. Bank earnings. Yeah, we already had a bunch of bank earnings. Again, you can kind of see the results for most of these right here. All right, so Goldman Sachs. Goldman Sachs missed EPS. U.S. Bank missed EPS and sales. Citizens missed EPS and sales. Everything else beat. So you see all the other banks basically came in better than expected. New York is nice. It's just so expensive. It's a really cool city to live in, but it's so expensive and it's so crowded. But on the other end, there's a lot of ways to make money there. There's a lot of jobs. Hey, what's up, Bulldog? Anybody else short Carvana on this $1 billion offering? I certainly didn't, but I hope you make some money, bro. Oh, I miss real food. Oh, I love Baton Rouge food, bro. You got Syrops, you got Albashas, you got there's just a bunch of good places, man. I miss Louisiana food, bro. You know, you got the jambalaya shop, you got Geno's. You know. All right, Schwab just broke highs again, up to 67.50s right now for Schwab. Let's see if it keeps it up. But it did just break highs again. Let's pull up the SPY or the Q and see what the market's doing with all this stuff going on. So there's the Q, another green day here. Yeah, commercials going down for a lot of reasons. Commercials dropping. Number one, interest rates are certainly higher right now. I think interest rates dropped this morning and they came in at, what did they show up at this morning? Interest rates dropped this morning. They came in at 6.87%. Last time it was 7.07. So interest rates showed up and they came in at 6.87%. So we did see interest rates drop a little bit, still right around 7%, but 6.87% for 30-year mortgage. But interest rates are much higher than we have been, pretty consistently over the last 20 to 30 years. We've had low interest rates. Recently, we've had an increase in that, and that's going to cause people to stop buying as many homes and commercial properties. The other reason commercial was dropping is because of the pandemic. In 2020, remote work took off, and a lot of businesses started to realize that they didn't need to rent out these huge warehouses for call centers and all that stuff. Now they can instead just have everybody work from home, and the software at this point is good enough too. And the margins are probably a little bit better for that type of thing where you're letting people work from home and just kind of letting them work remotely. And so I think because of that, over time, technology is going to grow more and more. And in that, we're going to start to see more and more drops in commercial prices because people just don't need commercial buildings as much. Now, you're always going to have a certain need for them. Like there's going to be certain industries and sectors that are always going to need commercial stuff. But yeah, there's always going to be certain industries and sectors that need commercial stuff. But, again, I still think it's going to dwindle down over time. And I think it has been for sure. What do you guys think commercial real estate is going to do over the next 5 years? Let me know. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle separating. That's not a shock. So they left the royal family. And once they left that, then they start having monetary issues. Now they're getting separating. That's sad. I hope they work it out, bro. I'm not against them or anything. Serops is like, I believe Serops is a, man, I'm trying to think of what country they're from. It's a Lebanese place. So Serops Express is a Lebanese place in Baton Rouge. If you've never been to Baton Rouge, go to Serops. It's really good. It's got like hummus, chicken shawarma, gyro, really good food. Al Basha's is good too, but I like Serops a little bit more. Anyways, guys, we got about 11 minutes left until the building permit data. 11 minutes left until building permit data. Carvana still dipping down. The Q is still pushing up, though, so the Q is still making pretty green moves today. You can see the previous closing price must have been down there at about 385, so we're at about 386.50s right now. Watching Morgan Stanley and Goldman as well still. Property tax is high in Texas. There's no state income tax though. So I mean that's the trade you make there. Like in Texas, we have very high property taxes. But there's no state income tax, and so pros and cons. All right, Carvana dipping. Again, the Q's still trying to hold up to 386.50. Still green day on the Q. Goldman Sachs is red slightly. The SPY is at 450, 430s. Yeah, I think that was a bad move. She basically got him to leave the royal family, and then now she's divorcing him afterwards. It's kind of rough. I kind of feel for him. He was trying to, Tesla 295. Yeah, Tesla has a chance to hit 300 today, especially with earnings later on. It's a pretty big thing. Tesla at 295.30s. Trying to make that test. It might make a test for 300 in pre. I don't think it's going to hit it in pre-market. It might make a test after the opening bell today. And again, if you haven't already checked out Moomoo, the platform you see me using right now is Moomoo, and a lot of these earnings I'm checking on Moomoo. And if you look at Moomoo, there's just a lot of uses for it here. Again, if I pull this up, there's just so many different options for me to like use this platform. If I go to explore here, I can look up in-depth analysis of everything. So here's a free heat map that they give you, so I can see what these different sectors are doing. I can go to the best performing sectors and see what's going on there. I can look at the hottest stocks right now. I can look at the good stocks in pre-market, after hours, IPOs, more and more. I can look at futures and see what's going on in futures and see what buys and sells are going on. I can look at divvy payouts here. I can look at announcements for my watch list, which today included JP Morgan. IPOs, so you can see what's IPOing, broker ranking, shareholder changes, institutional holdings. I can build my own screener that gives me a ton of different options to specify from, so you can build your own custom ones. I can find hot strategies and see what they're going on there. I can look at market hotspot. I can go to Paperfolio and I can follow other traders, see what they're trading, see what they're buying, see what strategies they're using. I can go to this person and see they're up 30% on the month, and they bought Coinbase, Tesla, and Apple, and they're up 30%. I can see what they're doing, where their recent transactions are, all the different stuff in there that they're holding from sector, and I can specify from daily, see what people are up on the day and what they're buying and what their portfolio looks like. And I can follow these traders as well by clicking follow right here. They also have one of the best news sources in the game. I can go see what's going on in my position, see what's going on in the market as a whole. I can go to the calendar here and see what's coming up in economic data and all that big stuff and get the news pretty quickly. And there's zero commission in stock trades. It's open the entire time in pre-market, so I can buy it at 4 a.m. in pre-market and actually trade. And if you open up an account and deposit at least $100, you get 5 free stocks. You open up an account, deposit over 1,000, you get 15 free stocks. You open up a deposit over 5K, you get the previous 15 plus a free share of Google or Tesla. And I did get Tesla. They are a sponsor of mine, but very useful. Check them out. Here's the link. You can also see it pinned at the top of the chat. Definitely appreciate the support. And we do have building permit data coming out pretty soon. So building permit data coming out pretty soon. Expectations for that are for 1.49 million. 1.49 million is what's expected for building permit data. And so we'll put these expectations up on screen. But yeah, building permit data is expected to show. So yeah, building permit data is expected to show for June. Housing starts expected at, we do have housing starts expected at 1.48 million. Let's drop at 8:30. Also subscribe to chat if you have not already. But again, 4.9 million for building permit data, 1.48 million for housing starts. Screen so you can see it. Yeah, that's pretty cool, Gordon. Yeah, I mean, Seattle and Oregon in general are just a beautiful state. It's just a beautiful state, man. Like the landscape there in Seattle is just really cool, really nice, great for hiking. So if your son likes hiking, Curtis is a pretty good state for that for sure. All right, so again, Tesla up to 295.40 or so, still trying. Carvana popping back up over 50 now, or at least right at 50. We'll see if it holds. Again, we got 5 minutes before building permit data. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this is Moo right here in front of you, Joe. So this is Moo charts right here in front of you. Also, guys, if you haven't already checked out Topstep, Topstep still has their huge sale going on. Topstep still has their big sale going on. Topstep is a funded program in futures, and in futures you can day trade, and then there's no PDT rule, so you can day trade short, you can buy market, buy bid, sell the ask, just like stocks. And the patterns in futures are very similar, because in futures you can day trade the S&P, basically the SPY, the NASDAQ, currencies, gold and silver, and the patterns on something like Tesla is very similar to the patterns in futures, but there's no PDT rule. You can day trade short in futures, no PDT rule. Topstep is the most legit and most established funded account program in futures, in which they give you a demo and they test your skill. Right now, for a limited time, the base combine is only $49, and you can open up multiple different ones. And so you can get it for $49. You can open multiple different ones. And what they do is they give you that 50K demo. If you can hit 3K in profit on that 50K demo without losing over 2K, they fund you 50K with a 90% split, and you get to keep your first 10K in profit, which is really useful. And it's kind of the best of both worlds, where if you try it and fail, you're only down $49. But if you try it and pass it, so you have limited risk if you fail it, but if you're good enough to pass it, you're going to keep 90% and your first 10K anyway. And they pay out millions and fund thousands of traders a year. Just taking the combine, build your skill. And again, it's a great way to help support the channel. They are a sponsor of mine, and so I'm certainly biased in their favor as well. But you can check them out here. Again, I'm opening up multiple different accounts because it's $49 for the life of your subscription. And monthly for the life of your subscription. And you can see the link there. We did have a good day in some of our accounts yesterday. We lost in some of them as well, but we're getting pretty close to getting funded. Would you get a Cybertruck? Probably. I'd consider it. Yeah, I use Quant Tower. You can use like 20 different platforms on Topstep. So there's many. It's not just like one platform. I am going to throw it in sub only mode. So if you have not already, hit the subscribe button. I certainly appreciate it. All right, so we did throw it in sub only mode. Again, this data is coming out in about a minute and a half, guys. A minute and a half. We got all this ready and waiting. All right, guys, building permits, housing start data. We got it all ready and waiting. Goldman Sachs still dipping pretty heavy here. Now you can use TradingView, TradeAvate, Quant Tower. I use a bunch of them. Yeah, everybody announce yourself. Show us your sub. I appreciate it. All right, guys, here goes the data. Again, less than a minute. Hey, nice, Tessie. All right, guys. Hey, 20 seconds, 20 seconds. Again, hit the live button next to the play button. Make sure you call it up on the stream. All right, guys. 10 seconds, 10 seconds. Let's see what we show up here. Carvana squeezing up ahead of this report. Q's on the right. So if you want to see how the actual market reacts, watch the Q on the right side. Here is the data right here. All right, housing starts came in at 1.434 million. Both of them came in lower than expected. Both came in low. Building permits at 1.44 million versus 1.49 million expected. Housing starts at 1.43 million versus 1.48 million expected. Both of them came in light. Percentage-wise, housing starts month over month came in at -8% versus 7.2% expected. So again, lower than expected in everything here. We'll see how the market responds to this. But lower than expected for everything. And again, hit the subscribe button. We cover this data very quickly. So we cover this data very quick. We're going to post this to Twitter as well. So again, subscribe if you haven't yet. We're dropping this data quick. But housing starts, building permits, both came in light, under 1.45 million for both of them versus higher expectations here. So again, we're going to put this on screen. Here's housing starts. Here is building permits. And again, we're going to post this to Twitter as well, so you can follow me there if you want. Here is the data here. Again, lighter than expected on both. We're watching not much of a market response here, to be honest. We'll look at the SPY and see if they moved a little bit more. But there's the data on the screen. All right, so there's the data on screen. We also posted a tweet on it as well. But the market hasn't moved. Let's see if the SPY moved at all here too. Here's the SPY. SPY hadn't really moved that much either. It looks like the Q has been leading the market more than the S&P has. Still a green day though. All right, but there's the housing starts building permit data. Yeah, pretty small reaction, I would say. And that's all right. Anybody watch the movie The Covenant? Guy Ritchie's The Covenant. Yeah, and again, hit the subscribe button, man. We cover this data quick. So, we get thousands of people tuning into these streams because we cover it pretty fast. We covered that one in less than like a quarter second. All right, still moving up a little bit. The SPY in Carvana, that is, the SPY still trying to bounce back, but the liquidity's been a little bit light. I'd rather put up like the Q. Is the Q at 386.50s? No, I didn't see the new Mission Impossible 2 days ago. Is it good? I heard it was good. I'm trying to get my wife to watch it with me, but she won't. My daughter might watch it with me. It's not super inappropriate for, like, it's probably got some violence in it, but it shouldn't be too bad outside of that, right? All right, so Q's starting to bounce up. Carvana over 50s. Let's see if it consolidates and actually holds here. Let me see if I can pull up this $50 level so we can keep watching it. All right, there's $50 right around there. So again, we're over that level now on Carvana. Somebody posted on Twitter. I often daydream about winning the Powerball lottery and buying the licensing rights to Friends just to edit out the laugh tracks and releasing it back to the public for free so everyone can finally understand how unfunny that show is. That would be hilarious. All right, so Adam Aaron, the AMC CEO, said the top studio exec, we have come across the absurd internet post regarding AMC's alleged suppression. He said no other theater chain in the world has shown more support for the Sound of Freedom than AMC. Do you guys believe that's true? I don't know. We're starting to get some steam on Twitter. What would you do if you won the lottery besides giving some? It depends on how much the lottery was. If it was like $1 million, I mean, I'm not saying $1 million wouldn't change my life, but it wouldn't change my life that much. If it was $1 million, I'd probably take half of it, stick it to the S&P, and then just kind of chill on the rest. If it was $1 billion, that's a different story. If it was $1 billion, I'd probably give everybody I know at least $1 million, and then just kind of live life and never stream again. You know, I don't know. I feel like I'd still want to stream. If I want $1 billion, I'd probably still day trade, but I would be freaking crazy with it. I'd be day trading like a $5 million account for fun, taking hundreds of thousands of dollar swings on the stream. You guys could only hope I win the lottery, you know. Hey, thank you, X. Yeah, it's probably true, Jeremy. I think so as well. What defaults to 30? Yeah, $1 million really isn't that much after taxes. I love your Christmas story quote on your pinned tweet. Yeah. Oh, I won an award. It's an award. You trading futures today? Yeah, I'm about to. We're just kind of hanging out watching the queue now, but we're going to be trading futures for sure. I just haven't really traded it much today. We're going to pivot on over. I heard when I whistle, it makes the market go up. I'm not for sure, but I heard that's the truth. All right, guys. So yeah, we are going to be day trading futures right now. All right, yeah. So we got Goldman Sachs earnings. Goldman Sachs was underwhelming for their earnings report. Yeah, they were just underwhelming. I guess the point is, do you think is there an argument for a dip by now? I trust like something like JP Morgan a little bit better than Goldman, to be honest, if I'm being real. We got Morgan Stanley out. All right, we got Carvana going absolutely nuts here, man. It's up to 55. The squeeze is back, so we'll see if it continues. It's not really going to be influencing the market that much, but it is kind of a huge stock. Look at this move, all the way up to 56. All right, we're going to be day trading futures here. I'm going to put Carvana up still. And we're going to see if we can start to day trade. So here's NVIDIA and Carvana up on the right. I could probably put the Q up instead, but there's Carvana. I'm also going to make this a little bit bigger so we can actually see a better view of this on the right side and expand this to the left a little bit. All right, so again, you can kind of see Carvana still making its test up here, breaking highs again. Look at up to 57.60s for Carvana, breaking highs again, guys. Wow. Two. Eight, 3. All right, guys. So we got, here is the Dow. Carvana all the way up to 57 basically right now. It's sitting right underneath it. All right, that should be good. Gran Turismo, the GOAT. Remember, today still we have Tesla earnings. After the bell, we got a bunch of different ones, but Tesla earnings after the bell today. Hey, what's up, George? All right, so here's the Dow. I'm going to put up the E-mini. I typically like trading the E-mini a little bit better. I also got used to trading the NASDAQ yesterday, too. Let me pull up. E-mini and the NASDAQ and Q. E-mini NASDAQ 100. And then we'll try to add. We got this one. Oracle Pro. All right, and again, we are just kind of hanging out. We're just sitting tight here, guys. You think NASDAQ rebalancing is going to tank some stuff? Potentially. It depends. And so to put it into perspective, the NASDAQ 100 tracks the 100 largest non-financial stocks on the NASDAQ exchange. It's mostly tech, but it represents some other ones as well. It's up over 40% on the year so far. S&P's up about 17%, but the NASDAQ has done much better. But they announced recently that they're going to do what's called a special rebalance to the NASDAQ 100. So this isn't an equal weighted fund, but it's market cap. So Microsoft makes up 12.6%. Apple makes up 12% of the NASDAQ. NVIDIA makes up 7%. Amazon makes up about 7%. Meta makes up about 4.5%. So it's going to impact some investors, though. All right, we do have the E-mini pulling back. I might buy this dip a little bit short term. Take one contract-based position here, buy the dip. All right, so I just took one contract here, the E-mini. It's a small starter position here, and this is the 150K combine, so we still got a decent amount of room. All right, so yeah, the reason the NASDAQ is rebalancing is because if you think about it like this, right? So right now, basically the argument is that they're putting too much weight on the top companies. So movements in the top companies are going to influence the fund altogether, and that's what they're trying to avoid. That's why they're rebalancing it. It's going to focus on reducing its concentration on its largest constituents. It says a special rebalance. NASDAQ was quoted with saying a special rebalance may be conducted at any time based on the weighting restrictions described in the index. It's not going to result in the removal or addition. It's going to reduce the concentration of its largest constituents. It'll be the third special rebalance in history, with first two coming in 98 and 2011. All the growth stocks rallying basically are what sparked this desire for them to rebalance. The Magnificent Seven is what they're calling the top stocks, with Microsoft, Apple, NVIDIA, Amazon, Tesla, and Meta, as well as Google. They represent 55% of the index. And so we don't know what they're going to do, but we expect the weights of each 7 of these companies to drop, but not by a huge amount. So they're going to adjust the weighted movement of each of these. If you don't know what weight means what percentage these companies make up in terms of the fund, right? So like, for instance, the S&P 500, the most heavily weighted stock is Apple. I think it's about 6%. It might be more than that. But certain stocks have different weights, like different what percentage they make up of the overall fund. So again, what most people are guessing is that they are going to adjust those rates to take a little bit less concentration of these 7 stocks to make it less weighted and only those stocks favor, if that makes sense. All right, so we are gapping up a little bit on the E-mini trade that we bought the dip in. Again, trying to ride this upward trend. Look at NVIDIA surge. NVIDIA at 476s right now, guys. Look at NVIDIA on the top right chart, up at 476s. That's a big move for NVIDIA. All right, so we're about flat on this trade. We bought the dip. I'm just trying to give it time to work. We'll see if it holds for the E-mini. Big pop up here. All right, so we just made about $50 on that trade. Again, the goal is to build a cushion so we can swing larger into that cushion. when it happens. We're up about 50 bucks today. I'll take it. We'll see if we get another move up. The glasses make you look analytical. Honestly, I've had some kickback from these glasses, bro. I bought these glasses on a place called overnightglasses.com. And I bought these glasses, and it was like 80 bucks, and they shipped them to me overnight. The problem is that they're really like thin framed. And so I've gotten some comments from people saying they might be not the most masculine looking glasses in the world. I don't really care. I can see from them, so that's okay. Shouldn't you use bigger size? No. $50 and a less than 5-minute trade is pretty good. Again, the goal is to build up a cushion first, right? If I could build up a cushion of $100 to $200, then I'll scale up my size and take larger positions. But until I build up that cushion, it doesn't make any sense for me to just go heavy out the get-go, you know? Yeah, I mean, I know I'm still the top 3 most handsome traders in the world right now with these glasses on. And so, you know, when you look this good, I mean, doesn't matter what type of glasses you wear, you know. All right, so we are moving up a little bit. We'll see if we get a little pullback. We're trying to break highs in the NASDAQ. The S&P is not quite at the highs, but the NASDAQ is. The high of today, at least. Yeah, I don't really care. I can see. So I can see. That's all I really care about is that I can see. I'm just kind of trolling you guys a little bit. But yeah. And yeah, we're going to be day trading on Topstep. And it really is like, listen, if you want to get exposure to day trading and you haven't tried futures, the futures market is almost certainly where you want to day trade. There's so much less red tape when you day trade futures over stocks, and the patterns on Tesla are very similar to the patterns on like the NASDAQ or the S&P. You know, when you look at Apple, if you look at Apple and to put it into perspective, when Tesla drops their earnings, I'm sure the market's going to move very similar to what Tesla does. So I can trade futures and basically trade Tesla earnings in futures, day trading with no PDT restrictions. I can day trade short. You can see I can buy market, buy bid, sell the ask. What I'm trading right now is the S&P 500. I can also day trade the NASDAQ. I can also day trade currencies, gold, silver. And again, there's no PDT rule in futures, so I can day trade short without red tape. With that, Topstep's the most legit funded program in the world. They give you a demo and they test your skill. And if you can hit the target while following their rules, and the base one, they give you $50K. If you can hit $3K in profit on that $50K demo without losing over $2K, they fund you $50K. And then once you do that, you get to keep your first $10,000 in profit, and you get 90% after that. So if you make $20K, you get to keep your first $10K, and you get to keep $9,000 out of the last $10,000. So you get to keep 19 out of your first $1,000. So you get to keep 19K out of your first 20K. Again, just taking these challenges is going to build you into a better trader. And most people are going to fail because most day traders lose, but it's so much cheaper to try this and lose. It's $49 right now on sale than it is to put up the money yourself. And again, you put the money up yourself in futures, you're probably going to lose much more. And so it's limited risk, but the reward is basically the same at 90% split. And they're the most legit one in the world. They pay out millions every year. They fund thousands of traders a year. Traders withdraw millions from them every year. And again, they've been around for over a decade. So if you want to check them out, here is the link. Great way to help support the channel. They are a sponsor of mine. I'm definitely biased, but here's the link. Check them out. Something happening with AMD. Well, something's happening with NVIDIA, right? And I think NVIDIA has sympathy with AMD. I think AMD is going to move with NVIDIA to a certain extent. But, oh, man, you're right. Actually, I'm sorry. You're correct. Look at AMD rip here, guys. So AMD is actually ripping much more than NVIDIA is. You're correct. My bad. Look at AMD up to 120s right now. Any justification for this move? Let's see. Something's going on with it. AMD is going to report second quarter results. All right, so cloud service providers are looking at AMD's LLM chip as an alternative to NVIDIA, said Digitimes. All right, so again, you can kind of see the news for AMD. I'm not sure if that's what's causing it to pop, but AMD is surging up at 121.40s right now, 121.40s. Crazy big move in pre-market right now. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and buy this again, and I'm gonna buy this with the strategy in mind of like seeing if we can catch a pop-up from microchip strength right now in the S&P. Maybe I should have gotten NASDAQ, but that's okay. But AMD starting to rise. It's at 121.80s right now. All right, we're slightly green, break even. AMD's at 122s right now, 122s. It is right at the high of the day, so it's not really a strategy I necessarily like taking, but I think we got a chance to rip, and we can get out pretty close to break even if it doesn't work. But again, this is based off of stock price action. What is this dropping? So Carvana dipping all the way back down to 53. Carvana starting to dive. See what like Tesla's doing. Tesla down at about 295s as well. We'll let this be our risk. If we break under this, we'll get out. Still green on the day. Yeah, I wish I would have bought Amazon about 20 years ago. All right, watching Carvana and NVIDIA. Tesla as well. See, the problem is NVIDIA just dove down because the news was bad for NVIDIA. So we're going to get out completely flat on the day now. See, we built up a cushion. We took a swing. We lost, and now we're back to square one. Flat on the day, though, so that's not bad. We might actually bounce right back up, too. We'll see what AMD does. Again, the goal is to build up a cushion first, guys. Like, I want to build up a cushion first, and then once we do that, we'll take larger swings into everything. All right, nice, Martin. That's a good trade, bro. All right, so I got 6 contracts to the NASDAQ real quick right here. Again, goal is to build up a cushion, and we're up nicely in it. If we follow this trend, all right, we just took half off. We're up about 30. You trade micros, William, and you build up a cushion first. He says everybody around me tends to. All right, so we're going to go ahead and cut this. Locking in more profit, attacking this upward trend on the NASDAQ. We'll go ahead and get out. So we should be back up pretty similar to what we were up before. So we got another cushion now. All right, so we are up about $30 now, which is okay. Still got a little cushion. So William says everyone around me trade futures tends to lose, basically. How do you prevent it? Do you set a stop loss or fall below a certain amount? So what I do, William, is I build up a cushion first, man. I build up a cushion. Again, if I'm trading a smaller account, I trade micros. I trade the micro E-mini, the micro NASDAQ. And then once and my goal is to build up a cushion first, right? So if I can build up a cushion of 500 or of a couple $100, if I can build up a cushion of $100 to $200, then that's when I'll start to take more risk, because that way I can build up a cushion of $200. If I lose, then I'm back to break even and I can scale down my size again and then try to build up another cushion. Eventually it's going to stick where I build up a cushion of $100 to $200 and then I take a larger risk and then I make money on that trade as well. And then I'm up $400 or $500. And then if I want, I can take another risk and I can make $600 or $700. I think that's the true path to get funded on these funded accounts in the safest way possible. But it's difficult. It's difficult. It's not easy. And most people are going to lose. I'm a trend trader, financial. So like I am effectively buying these trends on the NASDAQ. You can see the trend I just bought here. But the trend's very obvious. I think this is the trend. We've been in this trend all morning. And so all I'm really doing is waiting for a pullback to this level here. Like I wait for us to hit the bottom range. I try to buy at the bottom, ride the bounce back up to the top. That's all I'm really doing, is just attacking the trend. Yeah, no worries. I can set up indicators on Quant Tower, but I build a cushion regardless of what time it is, Alexis. So she says, do you build a cushion in futures, or are you saying build a cushion in pre-market? I build a cushion everywhere. So I'll build a cushion in pre-market if I can. Trade micros. So like the regular E-mini, right? It moves about $12.50 per tick, right? So $12.50 per tick. If you trade the micro E-mini, it moves $1.25 per tick, right? So that's going to be noticeably smaller size. So you could take like 5 or 6 contracts and still take about half the sizing that you're using buying the regular E-mini if you want to lower your risk. That way you can build up a cushion using small size first, and then once you have that cushion, then scale up, take larger risks, trade regulars instead of the micros. And you know, that's the goal. It doesn't matter what time of the day it is. I'd love to build up a cushion before I take big risks. So yeah, lunchtime gets slow for sure. All right, Disney's still bouncing up a little bit. If you guys remember yesterday, we bought the Disney dip, rode the bounce up, took profit, and now we're sitting on 30 shares of Disney, very small trade. So we got a little cushion. We could effectively attack this. I'm not going to trade the regular NASDAQ, though. Too risky. I'd rather trade the micro. But we need a little pullback first. Carvana started bounce back up, still at 54s. AMD finally dipping down after that catalyst that just came out. All right, so we are back down to the bottom of that trend on the NASDAQ. I'm going to go ahead and buy a little bit here, and I'm going to take one contract, and the plan is going to be to scale into this as it dips. All right, so there's 3 contracts. If we get 4, we're okay. 4 is plenty. This is such a small size, though. I'd like a little bit more if I can get it, but I might not have the opportunity to. It's all good. I think this has to be a longer term trade. It's just too small a size. There we go. That's better. All right, so there's 4 contracts. And these are micros right here too, so it's just smaller size. And now we'll look for a bounce back up to confirm the trend. If not, it's a small trade. If we do, we'll add another little cushion of profit. Look at Carvana fly, though, guys. Look at Carvana up to 45s or 55s. Right now, 55.20s. Pretty big gains here for Carvana. Crazy day. They did announce an offering as well. So remember, they did announce an offering on Carvana up to 1 billion shares, or up to $1 billion. I think it's 35 million shares offering. All right, so we're flat on this trade so far. All right, I'm going to add one more contract here and see if this trend continues. If not, we're going to just cut it and get out small. But you can see, like, even regardless of whether this trade works out for me or not, it's always kind of better to build that cushion first. Are we lagging on my end? Can y'all hear me? Y'all should be able to. Look at Carvana rip up to 56.30s right now, guys. 56.30s. Sorry, my music player is glitching a little bit, I think. All right, so we're flat on this trade. Coin popped. Is coin still going up? I know Bitcoin was going crazy, and it's still doing pretty nice. All right, so we're slightly green here. We got 5 contracts. Carvana still pushing. Epidemic Sounds is lagging here. Let me put up the other music on another platform. It should be better. Let me know if it's too loud or not. It should be. I know it was loud initially, but it should be a little bit better now. All right, so we're still looking at the NASDAQ trend here. We still got a small position of 5 contracts and micros. Carvana still surging up at 57s right now, 57s. I mean, I've been trading for 6 years, William, more than 6 years. So just experience trumps mostly everything else in trading. Like, I know people sell courses, but like courses aren't going to teach you what you want to know. All right, so there's a nice little bounce here. I'm going to go ahead and lock in some more profit there. We got 2 contracts left. Really nice gain. Again, attacking this trend. Go ahead and cut half of that now. All right, so up a little bit over 50 bucks. Just kind of attacking that NASDAQ trend. All right, so we're out. We're up like 50 something on the day now. Again, got a little cushion. We need a little bit more than this if we're going to swing harder though. But again, just kind of attacking that little NASDAQ trend that we have here. Carvana up to basically 57s. All right, I finally got the music playing back. Let me fix this. All right, music. Sorry, I'm about to put some more music up. All right, so you guys green today or not? I know we got about 20 minutes left until the market opens. Again, we got Tesla earnings coming out later. Carvana still surging up, basically up to 58 bucks right now. It's a pretty big gain. $58 on Carvana. AMD's quiet. Put the NVIDIA chart up. There's Tesla on the right too. There's Tesla. Tesla got earnings today. It's at 295.30s. NASDAQ still seems to be doing well. Still in that upward trend that we've been in for a minute. Red at the moment, hugely up last 2 days, so that's okay. Yeah, green days are good. Red days are going to happen. Yeah, for sure, Chris. I mean, a lot of people like courses. Again, the problem with courses is that like they'll teach you basic knowledge. You know, so like, but you can find the same basic knowledge on YouTube for free right now. The problem with trading is that it's a conditioning thing, right? So like, if anybody understands psychology here, y'all know about Pavlov and the dogs, classical conditioning. Trading is similar, you know, it's not the same, but it's a conditioning thing where you condition yourself through experience and repetition to do the correct things. And that takes a lot of time and energy. Like you got to do it over and over and over again to do it well. And that takes time. It doesn't matter what course you take, what guru you follow, you're still going to have to get that conditioning session in. And you're going to have to get your reps in over and over and over again until you start to have some type of conviction and good intuition for markets. And that takes a lot of time. And again, I'm not even claiming to be like a super great day trader or anything like that. I'm usually a better swing trader than I am a day trader, but like the point still remains, regardless of what kind of trading niche or like what kind of trading strategies you're using, it's still a conditioning through repetition thing that you just got to do over and over and over again. All right, so yeah. All right, so we got a little pullback here, still in the following trend. Tesla at 252.20s. We got Carvana pulling back to 57 still. I'm still pretty shocked. You have a Patreon app, so I can sign up with you. Yeah, we got one somewhere, bro. Let me see. It's been a minute since I've logged on, but let me find it. We got one. You can just become a member if you want. It's probably easier than doing the Patreon. I don't really have any content on Patreon. Becoming a member, you don't really get anything extra. It's just an extra way to help support the channel. So you could become a member. Just click join if you really want to help support us. I appreciate it. No worries, though. No pressure. Do you mind explaining the difference between the micro and regular E-mini? Yeah, the micro is 1/10 the size of the regular. So like the regular E-mini, every tick up or down per contract, it's going to be $12.50 in profit or losses. Or yeah, basically. So you buy 2 contracts and it goes in your favor 2 ticks, you're going to make $25. If it goes against you 2 ticks, you lose $25. If you have 4 contracts, it goes in your favor one tick, you make $50, so forth and so on. The micro is 1/10 of that size. Every tick up or down, it moves $1.25 per tick up and down, right? So you get 2 contracts, every tick up or down is going to be $2.50. And so it's just much smaller size. It's a scale down in size. Although remember, in futures, you do have commissions. And so, you know, the commissions add up in micros. And so you don't want to trade too heavily with them. But when you're learning, and especially if you have a small account, they're probably what you want to do. All right, team, we got 15 minutes left. 15 minutes. All right, so Code Interpreter has been out for almost 2 weeks. It's like having a personal developer. I have a question. If you buy a stock at aftermarket and sell it when the market opens, is that a day trade? No. Pretty sure no. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's not because it's not buying and selling the same day. You know, if it's another day, if the date is different, if it's 7/20 when you sell versus 7/19 when you buy, then it is not the same day. So not a day trade, from my understanding. Again, maybe your broker's different. I can't guarantee anything, but from my understanding, that's what it is. Starlink is finally for sale in Kenya. How is Starlink? Like, what is the upload and download speed like? All right, so Jim Cramer on Mad Money says he doesn't see a recession on the horizon, says recent conjecture just doesn't hold up under close scrutiny. Oh, no. Cramer has the same sentiment as me. What does that mean? Do we hit a recession this year, guys? Let me know what you guys think. Do we hit a recession this year? Let me know. I don't know if we do or not. Market so far doesn't look like it, but anything could ultimately happen. I really don't know, but yeah. Somebody made a post and said, imagine being a prop firm and this is the best graphic you can make. Yeah, for sure. Panic sell on Cramer. Yeah, Cramer, man, bro, I'm scared if he's taking the other side of my trades, bro. I don't want to have anything to do with that. Yeah. No, you can't buy fractional shares, I don't think. I've seen van life people with Starlink getting 15 plus upload and 100 download. 15 upload ain't really great, though. I mean, it's not bad, but it's not great either. Yeah, freaking Cramer, bro. What was he thinking, man? Yeah, freaking Kramer's taking the other side of our trades. It's bad. I might buy the S&P right here. We've been in just such a strong upward trend, though. I might need a little pullback. We are starting the trend, though. I just need to dip down to like here to be in this little short-term trend that we're in. Yeah, well, I think most people that use topstep, a lot of them are just learning. And I think topstep's a cheap way to learn because, again, trading is about conditioning through repetition. So it's about doing the right thing over and over and over again. And I think you can either experiment with real money doing that, which is a pretty big risk where you're going to lose a lot of the time, pun intended, trading with real money when you first start learning, day trading especially. Or you can use a funded account program, get limited risk. It's like $49. You still get some pressure on you to succeed, not the full extent of putting up the money yourself, but the risk is much lower. And so it's kind of the best of both worlds where you can take risks. You have some pressure. You're learning how to day trade. If you're good enough, you can get funded. If you're not good enough, you're going to lose much less than putting the money up yourself. And so I think in that regard, it makes a lot of sense. Certain people hate on funded account programs, but again, I think in that regard, it makes a lot of sense. If you're good enough to pass it, you get to keep your almost your full 20K for your first withdrawal. You get to keep 90% and your first 10K. And so it's like a lot of people they can basically, if they're good enough to make that type of money, they can, and then they can buy their own account and do whatever they want on their own account if they even choose to. So, I mean, there's a lot of reasons to. And again, check it out right there. I'm biased, though. They're a sponsor of mine. They pay me money. And so, of course, I'm biased in their favor. They pay me money. But yeah, I mean, there's no restrictions on how many times you do it. It's $150 a month for. It's $150 a month for Starlink. How much is it? I didn't even know. 1 gig is good. Like a gig, like right now, I got 1,000 up, 1,000 down for $90 flat a month, no contract. $120. What speeds do you get, BB? I should have bought that dip, man. I told you guys I wanted to buy this little trend, and I should have bought the dip. It's all good. On me, my ping's like 5 or something. It's my internet's basically perfect where I'm at. Oh, and Starlink, I don't know. I've never had it, never used it. Chat might be able to know better than me, but that's pretty good. I mean, 100 down, 20 up's not bad. Yeah, I have fiber optic. All right, Carvana's still dipping down at about $56 right now. Tesla bouncing up. 6 minutes or so until the market opens, guys. 6 minutes. Let's see if we get something good. I got a little pullback there. The problem is, like, if I buy it now, I'd have to sell prior to the open, which I guess I can. I'm gonna go ahead and buy it there. And again, we're already green on the day, so like if we lose, it's not the end of the world. AMD surging back up to 121s. There's a Carvana bouncing back up a little bit more. Cruise ships are using it. Yeah, that makes sense. That cruises are going to use them and take advantage of them. All right, we're flat right now. Watching Tesla bounce, that might help us. NASDAQ still in that trend, still bouncing a little bit. I see a smoke. Have a good day, bro. I'll see you guys later. Tesla earnings this evening. So remember, if you're leaving now, tune in for Tesla earnings, which drop at 4 p.m. Eastern time. We'll probably start before then, though. But yeah, tune in. We're going to cover all of them. All right, slightly green on the trade. Got about 4 minutes left. AMD popping up. See, I got to get out of this thing before the bell. So if I could take $25, I'll take it. Again, the goal is building up a cushion first. I think this looks good. I just hope it's not choppy ahead of the open. We're still green. And we can get out pretty much close to flat if we do. If it doesn't work on us. But I'm just going to get out $25 profit. We're up a little bit less than 100 on the day so far this morning. We have a win-loss ratio right now of 8-1. And we are up about $80 or so. So we got a small cushion. It's better than nothing. It's not really the biggest one though, but it's something. And again, I told you guys I didn't really want to hold it through the opening bell, and we're kind of at the top of the range now. All right, AMD still pumping up. Could have held it maybe for a little bit more gains here. We are breaking highs just now. So again, that little AMD move is pumping up markets a little bit here. Tesla still moving up a little bit as well. Coinbase dipping down, but man, Coinbase is at a good week, bro. Where's Bitcoin at? With Coinbase doing all this, where's Bitcoin at right now? Again, we got about 2.5 minutes. Bitcoin's still right around 30K. Meta. Meta's had a good year. Look at Carvana dipping down to 54s right now. Tesla moving up still at 295s. Let's see what we got on the NASDAQ. Still got this trend going on though. Meta diving down to 312.60s here. So Meta falling pretty quick as Tesla pops up to 296. Tesla up to 296. Meta all the way down to 312.60s. Tesla up to 296. SPY breaking highs on Tesla's rise. Mixtape coming soon. We got Carvana at 54.40s. We'll see if it holds. But NASDAQ still following that same trend it's been in. S&P 500 is breaking highs slightly here. Could have held that position I was in, but we got less than a minute before the opening bell. And a lot of the time, the opening bell can just be, for lack of a better word, volatile. So I didn't want to hold anything through that. USB. US Bank had relatively neutral. They had inline. They came in at 112, which is what was expected for EPS. Sales beat expectations slightly, very slightly. So pretty neutral earnings for US Bank. All right, guys. Opening bells 20 seconds. 20 seconds. Tesla popping up to 296 plus. All right, so here's the open. All right, big green action, man. I could have held, I guess. But big move ups at the opening bell here. Carvana still dipping at the open. Tesla still over 296 this year. AMD pushing up, testing highs. Meta pulling back to test the previous closing price. The SPY up to 455.30s, which is the recent high. 455.30s here. That's the recent. That's the high of the year. SPY just broke highs of the year just now, guys. High of the year break on the SPY. Very green. So S&P just broke highs of the year. Tesla pulling back a little bit at the opening bell. Carvana consolidating here. Meta dipping, but the SPY just broke highs of the year. The new high of the year is 455.37. We're at 455.30s on the SPY. Big green action. I just broke highs again, 455.40s on the S&P. Just broke highs again, 455.50s for the S&P. Surge up this morning in pre-market. AMD's kind of testing the VWAP right now, but look at this. Look at these moves on the S&P. Breaking highs again. 455.65 is the new high of the day, or the new high of the year. I mean, and all this is preceding Tesla earnings today, dropping at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Crazy gains right now. Big moves. Again, I'm just waiting here. It's a little bit up too much for me to try to piggyback off of it, but the S&P and the SPY still breaking highs. New high is 455.69. We're at 455.65s, so we're pretty close to that high as well. It could also break it again, but 455.60s, 65s again, 68s, 67s, 70s, 455.70 is the new high of the SPY. Mixtape coming soon. All right, so two really big green candles since the opening bell here. You can see those on the chart right now. Just broke highs again, 455.71. Another green candle breaking highs again, 455.76 on the S&P, on the SPY, that is. 80s, 455 80s. Consistently breaking the yearly high on the SPY, which is the mini S&P. You can see the S&P on the screen right now. This is the new yearly high right there. Trying again. Big pullback on the NASDAQ. NASDAQ dipping down pretty fast. I don't know if I like it enough to buy this candle yet. It's a little bit too risky. I think I'm just going to wait. NASDAQ falling down at about 16K right now, bouncing off of 16K. AMD dipping under VWAP. Tesla pulling back a little bit. S&P holding though. SPY holding a little bit now. Too risky to take a position here. If it breaks down, it could break down big. If I tried to short it, it could break highs. We're right around the yearly high. Either way, it's risky. I'm not going to take the trade now. Looks like we might break highs again, pushing up. We're at 76. The yearly high is at 81. NASDAQ dipping pretty fast, though. So the NASDAQ is the one that's majorly correcting back down. No, so I said Tesla earnings are today. So the SPY, the heavily weighted stock on the SPY is Apple. Apple's not really moving up. You can look at like Microsoft. It's another heavily weighted stock. It's not really moving up. You can look at like Walmart, Tesla, NVIDIA, AMD. What's dragging the market up, guys? Anybody know? Could be banks. Let me see. JP Morgan. Not really. JP Morgan had a green open, though. This is Topstep. I'm trading on Topstep through what's called Quant Tower. All right, big pullback here. I'm going to buy this dip now. A little bit more reasonable of a pullback, although I got to be careful. I'm trading on Topstep, which is a funded account program in futures. They give you a demo. They test your skill. If you can hit the target while following their rules, they fund you between 50K up to 150K with a 90% split, and you get to keep your first 10K in profit. And again, the easiest way to day trade without taking on too much risk. Base package is $49 right now. They give you a 50K demo. If you can hit 3K in profit on that while following their rules, they fund you between 50K up to 150K. 90% split. You get to keep your first 10K. And they are the most legit one in the world. They pay out millions, fund thousands of traders a year. They've been around for over a decade as well. All right, so we're slightly green on this. Slightly green. I'm not really liking this retracement back up. I'll give it 1 second since we're basically flat on this one and we're already green on the day. There we go, back up to green. Tesla bouncing back up. That could help me here. See if we make another surge up. We're starting to pop. All right, so we just made another $50 to $75 there. Today already on Topstep, we are up about 130. 9-to-1 win-to-loss ratio. Yeah, we're up about 130. So we got the cushion we were ultimately looking for. Carvana's still breaking down. Carvana testing $50 right now, which is pretty, it's a big level. It's a psychological level. United Health, Joe. Hey, good work, bro. NASDAQ looking weak, but the S&P's flying up. There's the high of the day break. Man, look at that high of the day break here for the SPY, breaking the yearly highs again. What stock is dragging this up, though? Like, what stocks are moving? Is it Netflix? Not Netflix. Is it banks? There's JP Morgan, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, Baker Hughes. No. What stocks are dragging the S&P up so much? It's not Tesla. Tesla's pretty neutral. Anybody know? Healthcare? Oh, yeah, that might be it. I heard Joe talking about it. Healthcare rips, United Health. It's not Netflix. Netflix isn't really up that much. It's gapping up today, but it's only at 476. It's actually at a red open. So it's not going to cause these big spikes. Yeah, I really don't know either. I'm looking at most of the large weight stocks. All right. Apple, Microsoft, Amazon. Amazon's starting to come back. I'm looking at weight. Google. No. It's weird. All the top 10 stocks are mostly down. United Health, Johnson & Johnson. J&J is good. Exxon is green. It could be oil. Oil could be doing it. Could be oil, I guess. Yeah, Chevron, Exxon are both green, so it could be oil. That's why the NASDAQ is down too, is because a lot of these other blue chips are down, but oil is up. So it could be oil and healthcare dragging the market up is what it looks like to me. Is Disney moving? Hey, nice. I'm going to go and take a little bit more off of this trade since I'm up enough in it already. I'm going to go ahead and take 10 shares off of Disney. Just lock that in. Missed the highs, but that's okay. Still a nice little green trade. Disney really green. We're green on Target again today. Green on our Nvidia. Green on Coca-Cola. I'm going to go ahead and get out some of these trades that I'm holding ahead of earnings. One of them is Coca-Cola. I'm going to lock that in. All right, so I'm out of that one. I'm also holding Target. I'm going to cut that one too. Nicely green in that one as well. Average was 128.90s. We're at 131s when I'm cutting the rest on Target. I'm out. What else am I holding here? I'm holding Disney. I'm still holding Disney. I'll probably keep holding Disney. Gold, GLD. We're green on that one today. All right, so that should be good. Market's popping up though, man. Look at these moves. Again, we're a little bit too extended on the upside for me to really want to take a trade now. Like we've just pumped up so much, it's a little bit risky for me, I think, here. Carvana under 50s. Yeah, I looked at UNH. It's definitely up on the day, I think, right? Yeah, UNH has been surging up too. That's definitely helping, and it's one of the heavier weighted stocks in healthcare too. A lot of it is oil, though. If you look at like Exxon, for instance, Exxon's pumping up today too. So Exxon, UNH. Finally dipping down in the E-mini now. We'll see if this uptrend continues here ahead of earnings. But again, remember, we do have Tesla earnings today. Pullbacks are not sufficient enough for me to really want to buy this. NASDAQ is starting to pop up a lot, though. Look at the NASDAQ right here, too. So here's the S&P. Right, I'm going to put the mini NASDAQ up just in case I accidentally freaking trade it. I definitely don't want to accidentally buy some of the NASDAQ. Here's the mini NASDAQ right now, though, on a 1-minute chart. And you can kind of see a red to green move happening here now where we dipped a little bit at the open and then we bounced back really heavily. We're now effectively green since the opening bell on the NASDAQ currently as well. So a lot of stuff really starting to move on the upside, too. I finally got a little dip. I can start to scale into a position here on the NASDAQ. 1 contract. We'll take 2. Maybe add up to 4 or 5 on the NASDAQ here if we keep dipping down. If not, we'll just have a small gain, and that's okay. Add a little bit more. There's 3 contracts. There's 4.
We might add one more, but we'll let this one work a little bit just to see if we do. Tesla's starting to turn though. All right, that's our last ad right there. We got 5 contracts here. Give it a little bit of time, see if the trend continues. Amazon ripping? Is it still ripping? Wow, Amazon is flying up here, man. That's definitely helping the market right now. All right, so we're kind of flat in this trade. All right, we just took a little bit more, there. Lock that in. All right, so we are now up about 170 on the day, and we've effectively built up the $200 cushion. Our win-loss ratio is 12-1 right now, so we have basically won on 12 out of 13 trades day trading today on futures. Now it's just about that time to start taking some swings. I don't know if I want to do it on the NASDAQ, though. I'm going to have to wait for a better trade to show up on the E-mini because right now we're just breaking highs. The NASDAQ's a little bit too volatile for me. But so we're going to wait for a trade on the E-mini as opposed to the NASDAQ today. Yeah, Amazon flying up, Google at 124.80. So Google having a pretty good day too. Now we can buy this dip from the S&P. Tempted to buy it. I'm going to buy it, pull back to that support level we had previously there. I'll also add up to 2 contracts in this position. I haven't really got the chance to add to it here, but we got 1 contract at the regular E-mini. All right, up a little bit. Again, I will add 2 contracts to this one. Trying to be patient with this. I don't want to just cut it for a $25 profit. That's not what I'm trying to do. All right, so there's 2 contracts here. And again, I'm buying it down to this major support level that we drew earlier. It was the previous high. So 2 contracts. All right, look at Tesla rip. Yeah, we're just kind of sitting tight here. Again, we got a cushion on the day. So we got a decent amount of time to let this just work. And we got ourselves in a favorable position where even if we lose, it's not the end of the world. But if we make money, it's going to be a bigger gain, and then we can take larger risks too. Been sitting pretty flat for the last couple minutes. We got a new candlestick that opens up in about 5 seconds. And I really do think I have to just sit here and wait and let it work. It might break down a little bit more, but I think trying to be patient here is the right move. The only problem is the NASDAQ's starting to flush down. Tesla's still pushing up to test highs. The NASDAQ's still kind of looking weak, though. Coin? What's Coin doing? coin, man, up to 110. It's a pretty big gain for coin. All right, so this is our first larger risk trade that we've taken today. And again, we're using the cushion that we built. And again, I really got to just be patient here. I'm not going to add any more than 2 contracts. But like if we continue in this trend, we still have room to let it work. If we cut it here, we'd still be up on the day, but I want to give it time. I really do. I don't want to get overzealous and cut it too early because I'm okay with having a break-even day or a slightly down day. We've got the cushion that we need to let this. What's the symbol for Humana, Joe? I'm not sure. Oh, wait, I think my glasses are coming in today, too. My other glasses. I think I ordered some new ones. All right, we're about flat. Slightly green. HUM. Gotcha. Humana's up. All right, so we're slightly green on the trade. Not enough for me to take profit yet. I'd like more. I'd like to see if we make another test of those highs. All right, we're just kind of sitting tight. I'd like to see the trend play out. All right, so we're starting to break back down a little bit. Again, we're pretty neutral in this trade. If we lose, it's okay. If we win, that's obviously better. I'm kind of looking at seeing when my glasses are coming. Carvana starting to bounce back up. Over 50s right now. Tesla's still testing the high. Processing at an overnight or a UPS facility. Come on now, man. All right, good. They're gonna be delivered today. All right, guys. In Quant Tower, it's a different button. Target. No. So we have there's a couple ones after the closing bell today. So we have Netflix, Tesla, United Airlines after the bell today for earnings. Tesla, Netflix, United Airlines is after the bell. All right, so we're starting to enter the territory where I'm not break even anymore. I'm going to be slightly down after this trade. And this is the 150K combine. So like being down $100 or $200 is not big at all. But I don't want to let it test too much here. And we are bouncing back, so that's good. We're just going to let this work. It just kind of stopped people out by breaking this low right here. People who set their stop losses right here, they just stopped them out, and then they're bouncing right back. So again, that's why people ask me why I don't ever set physical stops. This is exactly why. It's because if I would have put a stop loss right here, like a lot of people are doing right at the low of the last 30, 40 minutes, I would have just gotten stopped out, and then it would immediately bounce back, and then my mental capital would have just been shot. I would have just been super upset, you know. All right, we're green. Question is, do I want to take half off here and let just one contract work on the rest, considering how volatile it's been and choppy? I don't know. I think I'm okay with losing here, because I don't think $180 day is anything to really strive for. I think I need more gains than that on this account. And I think I have the cushion to let it work and try to break highs again. Yeah, people always get mad. They're like, oh, this dude doesn't set hard stops. He doesn't know what he's talking about. And it's like, well, I think look at Tesla drag it up here. Let's see if it drags up the S&P. Look at Tesla breaking highs. 297.30s for Tesla. We do have Tesla earnings today after the bell. Yeah, I mean, I'm just kind of sitting here. I'm okay with losing on the trade. Again, it's just a small trade. I want to give it time to bounce, and I don't mind the consolidation in the market right now. I think consolidation is good because sometimes, like, the market pushes up, consolidates, and then makes another push up, and sometimes it doesn't. And if that happens, it's okay. All right, Carvana starting to rise back up. Carvana back up to almost 53s. We're watching Tesla consolidate too. Yeah, you definitely need, some people need hard stops. I'm not saying they're all bad, but like in the end, you know, it depends on the person, I think, to be honest. All right, so the S&P has been pretty flat for the last 20 minutes or so. It's basically been choppy. Like, this is the price action. What are you going to do if Wi-Fi goes out? I'm going to pull out my phone and exit the position. John, why don't you swing trade futures? Because if I'm going to swing trade, I might as well just swing trade stocks. Because I can. You know, that's where I know my edge is there. I'm not going to experiment with another swing trading market that I'm not super familiar with in futures. Also, futures contracts typically decay over time. And so, you know, or not decay, but like some of them do. And so with that, like, if I'm able to day trade stocks and I have a large enough account too, I'm just going to do that because I know that's where my true edge is. All right, back up to the same high here. I'm going to go ahead and cut. Oh my gosh, I just exited the full position. I'm going to buy this right back. All right, I accidentally exited the full position. I didn't really want to. And that's nice. I mean, I'm up over 200 on the day now. You can kind of see the percentage gains here. I'm up 210 on the day. But I'd love to give it a chance to break this. I should have scaled up. I mean, and it's all good either way, but a little bummed. Oh, bummed I sold the full position there. I think some commodity contracts, you gotta number one, you can't hold them for super long periods of time. Number one. Number two is individual stocks are easy for me to just gauge and trade. All right, so we broke the top of the range again. All right, so I just cut it again and locked it in. We're up about 220 on the day. It's just taking too long, to be honest. So we are up. Man, we got 14-1 win-loss ratio. That's pretty good today. Up about 220. NASDAQ's actually pretty flat today. So like the NASDAQ hasn't really done that much. Yeah, I don't think they decay either. I think you're right. I think my point is like you can't hold it for longer than 4 months. And like a lot of my swing trading revolves around the point of being able to hold them for extended periods of time over 4 months. And so the fact that I would have to exit my positions for the most part every 4 months is a pretty big downfall of swing trading futures. Now, if you're day trading, it doesn't matter. And that's why futures are ideal for day traders. Most pro day traders actually day trade futures where there's no PDT rule, there's no red tape. You could still day trade the S&P, basically the SPY. You could still day trade the NASDAQ, similar to day trading stocks, buy market, sell market, all that stuff. But no red tape, and these funded account programs are allowed. And again, check out the link in the description if you want. But I think if you're going to day trade futures. If you're going to swing trade stocks. You have more options in stocks too to find the ideal like A+ setup over futures or over like ETFs, right? Like I could day trade the SPY or I could swing trade the SPY, but it's the only thing I can trade. I can't analyze and find ideal setups where we have a low PE, a super big drop, and I can find those in the S&P, but I'd have to basically just sit around and do nothing. With stocks, I can usually find something that I consider extended and trade it and make money swing trading relative to broad market ETFs or funds, you know. Yeah, I mean, I feel you, bull flag. It's just preference. I got the money to be able to just do it in stocks, and so you know, it just doesn't make sense for me to trade a more restrictive swing trading market, you know. All right, pretty large pullback now in the E-mini. I'm going to buy another contract here. Again, I'm probably going to stick around and start trading futures again when Tesla, right around when Tesla starts to get ready to drop their numbers. I'm just going to go ahead and cut it and get out. I think I got out flat on that one. Yeah. So yeah, we're up nicely on the day. We've only had 2 losses. I think they counted that one as a loss. So we got a 7-1 win-loss ratio today. Not bad. Again, if you want to try out futures, check out Topstep, funded account program for futures, the most useful funded account program in the world. They give you a demo. They test your skill. It's only $49 right now. Super cheap and just really, really useful. Ultimately, you can do a lot of stuff with it, and it gives you experience of day trading without taking on the risk. And if you're good enough to pass it, you still get a lot of the benefits where you get 90% profit split. You get to keep a 100% of your first 10K, and that's just incredibly useful. I'm also using Chart Prime a lot with my trading. For instance, if you look at the NASDAQ here, like I'm using Chart Prime a lot. And so one of the reasons I have this good accuracy rate is Chart Prime. You know, now I don't, obviously, if you look at Chart Prime and you see what I'm doing, I'm not basing all of my trades around it, but again, there's just so many different options for using this. It's a trading view indicator service. You can use it in stocks, crypto, Forex, futures. Here's the NASDAQ, for instance. And again, I'm using this in this a lot So they give you reversal signals, strong buy and sell signals that are pretty accurate. Again, if you look at the Market Oracle Pro, strong buy signal here, big bounce. Sell signal, this one was wrong, but again, strong buy signal here, nice bounce. Strong sell signal here, nice drop. And you can kind of keep going back in time. Strong sell signal here, nice drop. Strong buy signal here, nice bounce. Strong buy signal here, nice bounce. Strong sell signal here, nice drop. And so again, the alerts are pretty accurate. I don't base my trades fully off of them only, but I know a lot of people that do. And again, this is just a small piece. I can also put up the Market Oracle Pro. I can look at this here, or no, I'm sorry, I already have the Market Oracle Pro. I can also put up like the regular Market Oracle, and it'll give me reversal signals. And again, reversal signals, candlestick patterns. What I find is my favorite edge out of all of these is the regular Market Oracle, because it does stuff like this. And every candle here represents a 5-minute chart, but it does stuff like this, where if you can find a reversal signal and an engulfing candle, regardless of which way the reversal or the candlestick is, pretty good price action afterwards. Like, look, reversal down and a bearish engulfing candle, drops over 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50 minutes of dropping action after that. Same thing here. We had two engulfing candles and a reversal signal, drops over the next few hours. And so again, you can use this on any time frame as well, 5-minute, hourly, daily. You can also use a bunch of different ones. Chart patterns, their oscillator is really nice. They have smart money concepts if you like smart money concepts. And there's just a lot of different pattern strategies. You can look at different triangles, flags, all that good stuff that they offer. And again, just very useful, very cheap as well. It's like $35 a month right now. And so very cheap right now. They are a sponsor of mine. I can't guarantee you're going to make money with them or anything like that. Nobody can. But again, just pretty useful when you look at like what they give you for the price. It's $35 a month. And like, that's a lot of stuff that they give you for $35 a month. And so check them out. Great way to help support the channel. We're going to go ahead and close it down. So be safe. We'll be back later on for Tesla earnings. Again, all of these are sponsors. And so of course I'm biased. But again, we will be back later on for Tesla earnings. So good luck. I'll see you guys later. Love you all. And I'll be back in a few hours.